save.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Josh Mann. To the scoreboard we go. In-state semifinal action tonight, Division II. The Salina Bulldogs, their season ends tonight as they lose to a tough Lebanon team, 70-43. Salina bows out of the state tournament at 10-3. Division IV, one score for you. The Coldwater Cavaliers are going to the state finals. They top Cincinnati, Wyoming, 20-10. And in Division VI, Lancaster Fisher Catholic continues their season 11-2 now. They top Cuyahoga Heights 29-0. This high school football scoreboard has been brought to you by Kenevian Sons Plumbing and Heating in Kalida, an energy partner of AEP. You're watching WOHL, Lima's Fox Station. Now it's time for the Fox 67 Game of the Week as the Delphos St. John Blue Jays battle the Tiffin Calvert Senecas from Findlay's Donnell Stadium. Let's join Carl Metzger, Howard Overman, and Scott Stiles. You're watching Fox 67 WOHL Lima.
Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome to high school football this Friday night. Carl Metzger, Howard Overman, and Scott Stiles with you as we are bringing you the Division VI state semis from Findlay's Donnell Stadium. The Delphos St. John Blue Jays back here one more time as they're going to be taking on a very tough Tiffin Calvert team, the Senecas. Both of these squads tonight will come into the football game with identical 12-0 records. The Delphos St. John Blue Jays on a 27-game winning streak. And I tell you, the Senecas, a good team. They also have won 15 straight football games. Howard and I will tell you about tonight's matchup. But first of all, we must tell you that the pregame show is being brought to you by the Sports Medicine Center at St. Rita's, because you deserve first-class care. Our walk-in clinic is open from 7:30 a.m. to 9 o'clock a.m. Monday through Saturday. You want to know about tonight's matchup? Stay with us. We'll have more for you right here on Fox.
The gym was like a second home to me.
Hey, Kevin.
So when I hurt my shoulder and I couldn't do the things I love to do, I knew I needed help. After surgery at St. Rita's and time in the hospital's therapy pool, my shoulder's stronger than ever. Thanks to St. Rita's, I'm back in the gym doing what I love to do, with the people I care about most.
For more about St. Rita's Sports Medicine Program, call us. That's why there's St. Rita's.
Tonight, because it's seldom you come into a football game like this and you got some guys that are kind of questionable. Now, first of all, let us start with Tiffin Calvert. And Howard, we've been talking to some of the guys out here tonight. Especially, it's always fun to talk to some of the people on the sidelines. They usually know a lot about what's going on. But some key injuries to some players on this team. And the one thing when we talk to these guys that keeps coming up, these guys like to throw the football.
Tiffin very much, their quarterback has got near 3,000 yards. They've got receivers that have 50, 40 catches. But they got the Puffenberger, that's the fullback who's rushed for nearly 1,400 yards. And he's one of the questionable, running backs this week. And when you come to this time of the year, you put 12 games in, there's some banging going on if you get the ball that many times. And hopefully in a game like this he can play and play at a high percentage at 90% or 95, because this is what it's all about and that's what he's worked for. And then on the other side of the ball, you've got Metzner and you've got Schulte who are hurting a little bit also. But they're going to see the field and hopefully they can perform like we've seen them perform in the past. And Delphos and Tiffin have a great game.
And Chad Schulte, we talked to Vic Whitey before the football game. It looks like he's got those east-west cuts going on now that he didn't have last week.
Well, I think sometimes injuries heal a lot faster when you have a backup like Weber, I guess. But Schulte's a heck of a running back, and I tell you, that's what we know about him, and that's what we've seen in the past 2 years out of him, that ability to stop on a dime and make the cuts. The tackler thinks he's there, and all of a sudden he's gone. And with his knee injury, that really cuts his performance down. He's more of a straight-ahead runner, but as Coach Whiting said, he showed some cutting ability, so that makes it even that much more tougher for Tiffin.
Now, head-to-head, of course, Howard, the head football coach for the New Bremen Cardinals. You got the MAC now going against a team that's in a league. I'm not going to say they don't play the competition the teams in the MAC do, but the MAC has been very strong this year, and they've shown teams like those from the Western Buckeye League what they're made of.
Well, I don't want to get in that kind of conversation, but, you know, those are two great leagues as far as Western Buckeye League and MAC. And, yeah, coaching in it, obvious, a little bias. Not real familiar with Tiffin's team and their conference, but when you have Coldwater still in the playoffs and you've got St. Henry who just got beat by Delphos, and you have Delphos coming in with 27 straight wins, and the other teams, we do have a heck of a league, excuse me. But Tiffin, you know, they're 12-0. And I'm sure they, week in and week out, they've got to pad it up, and people are looking at them, and I'm sure it's going to be a heck of a football game.
Okay, and down on the field again tonight is the man of the hour, Scott Stiles down here. Scott, with us the last couple of weeks. And, Scott, you've been out on the field. You've fallen down a couple of times already. What's the field conditions look like?
It's not too good, Carl. Actually, the field's pretty tore up, and both coaches are concerned. But the field will favor a team that has strength because the legs will get tired in this kind of field, and that does favor Delphos.
Okay, it's going to be a great football game. Again, both teams come in undefeated at 12-0. Pre-game show brought to you by the Sports Medicine Center at St. Rita's, because you deserve first-class care. Our walk-in clinic is open from 7:30 a.m. to 9 o'clock a.m. That is Monday through Saturday. We also have coming up next on Fox 67 the starting lineups, and Howard will tell you about our keys to the game. That all comes up next right here on Fox. Stay with us.
Fox 67 is proud to bring you tonight's high school football playoff game. A promotional fee has been paid to the Ohio High School Athletic Association for the broadcast rights of this game. If it wasn't for the support of the following businesses, this broadcast would not have been made possible. United Equity Incorporated in Delphos, Spencerville, and Kossuth, your locally owned farmer cooperative. Harder & Son Memorial Chapel at 209 West 3rd Street in Delphos. Harder & Sons wishes good luck to their favorite co-worker, number 77, Tony Steeman. Reliable Plumbing and Heating, call Reliable at 695-2921 for all your plumbing, heating, and air conditioning needs. Reliable has 24-hour emergency service. The Delphos Food Locker, now featuring bulk sausage for $1.09 or whole pork loins for $1.89. Go Blue Jays! Community First, Bank and Trust, service, that's first. Fox 67 would like to wish the best of luck to all of the area teams during this year's high school football playoffs.
Let Gossard Moving Service introduce you to the fine art of moving. Let North American agent Gossard Moving Service orchestrate your next move. Call us at 419-225-4818.
It's time for the final markdown sale at Mike Pruitt's Superstore. 94 Explorer XLT 4x4 only $13,950 or $296 a month. 96 Ford F-150 only $13,380 or $269 per month. Plus a special 7.5% rate on select vehicles with no cash down.
The cars and trucks you're looking for at Mike Pruitt's Superstore.
The holiday season is here. In a cheap supermarket, that means family, friends, and great food.
We can make fruit baskets in lots of sizes. And they're perfect for presents.
Don't forget, if you're entertaining, Chief Supermarket has 6 different party trays to choose from.
New this year and only at Chief Supermarket. The special recipe cookie party tray.
From our family to yours, happy holidays from the associates at Chief Supermarkets.
Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome to Donnell Stadium. We are in Findlay, the Division 6 state semifinals here on Fox 67. Carl Metzger and Howard Overman ready to bring it all to you. The Delphos St. John Blue Jays coming to the football game tonight under head coach Vic Whiting. They are perfect on the season. They are 12-0, and they go up against a team tonight, Tiffin, Calvert, the Senecas. Likewise, they are 12-0. Right now, it's time for Mike Pruitt's Keys to the Game, brought to you by Mike Pruitt Ford, where you'll discover for yourself that nobody beats a Mike Pruitt deal. I'm going to bring you the keys for tonight. The head football coach for the New Bremen Cardinals from the MAC, Howard Overman.
Well, thank you, Carl. I think there's 3 big keys, obviously, tonight. There's all kind of keys, but I think these are a big 3. First one is Tiffin Tiffin Calvert not giving up the big plays to Delphos. You know, Delphos is a team that is very big play oriented, either running the ball or passing the ball, and they've got to try to contain them and make Delphos earn what they get. Number 2 is the health of Eric Puffenberger at fullback for Tiffin. He's bummed up, but he's a big key to their running game, having a little over 1,400 yards, and they don't need to be one-dimensional just throwing the ball, even though they do throw the ball quite often. And number 3 is Delphos containing Tiffin's passing attack. Nate Keller has thrown for 2,700 yards and 42 TDs, and he's got some receivers, and Bart Fisher and Dustin Reisner, that have caught a lot of passes. And I guess through the year, I guess everybody in our league, they felt they could throw the ball against Delphos, and we saw St. Henry do it last week, and I believe it's real big for them to contain them. So I believe those are the 3 big keys this week.
Okay, thank you, Howard. Those are Mike Pruitt's keys to the game, brought to you by Mike Pruitt Ford, where you'll discover for yourself that nobody beats a Mike Pruitt deal. We are ready to get this game underway. It's going to be Tiffin Calvert, who's going to be kicking off first, back deep for the Delphos St. John Blue Jays. As always, you will see Steve Wiekert and Jeff Fisher. Fisher 21, Wiekert number 40. Kicking off is the guy who does a lot for Tiffin Calvert. That's Bart Fisher. He's number 88. Here we go. The foot is into it, and it's going to bound around the 10-yard line. And finally, it's going to be picked up out of the end zone, returned across the 10-yard line to the 15. A lot of running room. Finally to the 20-yard line. Delphos St. John's is going to set up their offense 1st and 10 after Chad Schulte returns the ball for Delphos St. John's. Let us check now the starting lineups here on Fox 67, brought to you by Gossard Moving Service, where your smooth move starts. And we'll get to them as soon as the Blue Jays run their first play from scrimmage. Delphos St. John's, their quarterback is Scott McCormick, and he is a good one. In the backfield, Scott Schulte getting his start tonight for the Jays, and he'll get the first run from scrimmage, picks up a couple. Let's check the offense for Delphos St. John's. At quarterback is Scott McCormick, number 4. He is just a junior. Dave Martz, one of the running backs, the fullback, number 34, and Chad Schulte is starting tonight in that tailback position out of the I formation. He is number 30, not quite 100%, Howard, but where he's at right now is good enough.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd still take him, and I'm sure a lot of other teams. He's a real nice running back.
Second down situation, they need 6, and Schulte goes in motion. They will go to the fullback. This is going to be Martz, and he might get a couple out of that. So it's going to set up a 3rd down. The tight end is Ryan Morris, number 84, a junior. Jace Metzner in the starting lineup. You're also going to see Craig Hershey back there. Jace, number 14, with that knee injury. And the flanker is John Odenweller. He is number 24, and John is just a junior. So they need about a yard to pick up the first down, just underway from Donnell Stadium. They've got 3 receivers set up. Now let's make it 2. Man in motion will be Morris. He comes set at the line of scrimmage on a 3rd and 1. Hand off to Schulte, and he will be right at the stick. Looks like Howard, a first down.
Yeah, you could tell on that run, though. I know he's going for the yard, but Chad Schulte's healthy. He'd cut that back, and he probably would have taken that quite a bit for a longer distance. But right now, he's running pretty much straight ahead.
Let's check that offensive line. They're a good one. Keith Huntingford, the left tackle. Keith Godey, the guard. On that left side, Phil Gunder is the center. Eric Morris at right guard. Big Tony Steeman, number 77, is the right tackle. Those the starters on the offense for Delphos St. John's. 1st and 10, 32-yard line. Man in motion for the Jays. They go pitch Schulte. Schulte makes the cut, picks up a couple of yards. Let's check the defense now for Tiffin Calvert. On the D at left defensive end is Eric Balker, number 54. The left tackle, Chad Elkert, 76. Ian Cook, the nose guard, number 71. Matt Myers, the right tackle, 67. And Tim Shum, the right defensive end, he is number 83. 2nd down, 7 for the Jays from the 35-yard line out of the I formation. They will go the pitch. Schulte. No, this is Weber this time, and you saw him scoot around. You could tell right away, Howard, when When Zach's got the football, he's got that quick scoop.
Their offense picked up about 2 beats right there. The difference right now between Schulte and Weber in there. You can tell Schulte's, not where he wants to be. But that Weber, he gets the ball and it picks up.
Linebackers, Mike Sackstetter, 21, Luke Bohr, 62, and Tim Brodman is number 44 for the Senecas. Third down, they need 2 to pick up the first. Approaching the 9-minute mark, first quarter. Pitch back, this time Schulte falls down. It's going to be a 4th down. He tried to make that cut, but as we talked before the game, Howard, the field conditions not the best.
In that situation, he had to cut back, and he wanted to get that first down. Ended up losing. It wasn't because he was hit. He just lost his footing and went down, unfortunately. So they're in a punting situation. But you notice there's no passing, and that's kind of uncharacteristic with Delphos, going basically 2 series there and no passing attempts. And Metzger not being in there takes that receiver out of the game.
Doug Martz from the 28-yard line, a line drive going to be taken around the 27-yard line. The Senecas will approach the 32, and that is going to be about it. Returning it again is Mark Fisher, number 88. Let's check now that starting lineup for the Senecas. The quarterback, the co-district player of the year with Chad Schulte, number 17, Nate Keller. Also on the offense for Tiffin Calvert is the fullback, Eric Puffenberger, number 45. Also Justin Keefe is one of the halfbacks. He is number 10, and Todd Ionatuno is the other running back for Tiffin Calvert. First and 10, 33-yard line, approaching the 8-minute mark. They're going to throw. First one from scrimmage, and we've got incomplete. And we expected that, Howard.
Well, they come out with their 4 wides, and Delphos manned up. And Delphos can get away with that. They've got some great athletes in the defensive backfield. Obviously not familiar with Tiffin to see what type of receivers, but that was just a go pattern. They tried to hit the big one right away.
They have over 2,700 yards passing for this quarterback, Nate Keller, number 17, only a junior. He has also 42 touchdowns this year. Second 10 from the 33. They go with their running back, Puffenberger. He goes nowhere. The Jays defense there. Let's check the tight end for Tiffin Calvert, Dustin Reisner. He has this year 335 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Bart Fisher, the do-it-all man, number 88, 53 receptions for 789 yards. Third down situation, they didn't get anything on that one, so they need 10 from the 33-yard line. Nate Keller, the quarterback, looking over that Jays defense, wants to throw, scrambling out of the pocket, in trouble, and we've got probably a holding situation against Calvert. That gives us a chance to check their offensive line. They are left tackle Eric Balker, number 54, Luke Bohr, the left guard, 62, Nick Links, the center, 61, Matt Myers, 67, is the right guard, and Ian Cook, the right tackle, 71, as I mentioned those players, Howard. And we also look at the defense. We also see that for Tiffin Calvert, they've got a lot of guys going both ways.
Fatigue is going to play another part. They have 6 of them going both ways, and Delphos is pretty much a 2-platoon system. While we have a flag here, I've got the officiating crew here. With the referee, we have Robert Bradford. The umpire, Richard Zink. The linesman, John Vaccaro. Line judge, Brent Bell. And the back judge, Thomas Burns. But they threw those first flags with some serious enthusiasm. They must have seen a big-time hold in there.
Well, going to move them back as we have our first flag of this football game.
I'm surprised they took the penalty.
Well,
it's made it 4th down, so now it's 3rd.
Well, they're in the punt formation, so they must be declining this penalty, although they haven't chalked up for the extra yardage.
But they marked it back.
Oh, they got 2 penalties in one. Oh, I see. They had a intentional grounding penalty.
Well, that's lost down then.
So it is a 4th down and 23 situation. Ball resting at the 20-yard line. So for punting for Tiffin Calvert is going to be Dustin Reisner, who averages about 30 yards per kick. Back for St. John's is going to be Wiekert and Fisher. They're going to have some great field position. The punt's from the 10, and it's a nice kick, though. Going to be taken at the 45-yard line by Wiekert. Wiekert tries to get to the outside, and he's gone down.
Nice punt coverage there, but Wiekert took it up the field and got what he can. They're on the Tiffin's 49-yard line with great field position, as you mentioned.
Defense for Tiffin Calvert. Left defensive end is Eric Balker, 54. Chad Elkert, left tackled, 76. Ian Cook, 71. Myers, 67. And Tim Shum, 83.
Let's see if they go for the home run right here. Metzger's split out over here.
It's going to be a 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. The quarterback is Scott McCormick, over 1,600 yards passing this year. Looking deep for Metzner, and he will not come up with that one, but he had a great look at the football. A little bit underthrown as we check now the linebackers. For Tiffin Calvert, Mike Sackstetter, 21, Luke Borer, 62, and Tim Broadman's 44. Defensive backfield is Justin Keefe, 10. Todd Ionatuno is back there as one of the cornerbacks, and Dustin Reisner is their safety. So those are all your starters on the offense and defense for Tiffin Calvert. Will set the Jays defense when they are there. 2nd and 10 from the 49-yard line. It's going to be a fake pitch, and they go with the draw. Hand off to the first back through, and that's going to be Martz, and he's going to go nowhere, so it's going to set up a 3rd down situation.
I'll tell you, Tiffin Calvert's defense came to play. They're all over Metzger on the pass, and now they stuff the trap play up the middle. Delphos tries to get them split out with a 4 wide and hit that quick trap. They're able to stuff it up inside.
Great seating here at Donnell Stadium. Great press box up here. The field, pretty good shape. Could be better, but nice night for weather for this football contest. 3rd and 10. They've got trips on that right side, 4 receivers going, and now the pass from McCormick is going to be short. And that is going to set up another 4th down situation. This Tiffin Calvert defense playing well, Howard.
They are, but uncharacteristic for McCormick. He's thrown 2 long balls short. You know, their timing, him and Metzger all year have been fabulous, but unfortunately here, he's just got to get it going, and I'm sure he's a gamer. He'll get it. He'll have it going here soon.
Let's go to Scott Stiles down on the sideline. What are you seeing, Scott?
Well, Carl, I tell you what, Delphos is playing in-your-face defense. They're playing bump and run right on him. It's messing up the routes for Tiffin. But I tell you what, the quickness of the defense of Tiffin is really controlling the line of scrimmage right now for Delphos. Back to you, Carl.
Ready to punt. This is going to be Martz from the 40-yard line. He gets the foot into it, and it's going to be a sideline kick around the 15-yard line. And that'll give us a chance to check the defense for Delphos St. John's, folks, and it's a team that has only given up 7 points per game this year. They are led with their linebackers, but let's check, first of all, the line. The defensive line, Sean Ardner, 50, Josh Ricker, 78, Matt Schwinnen, 61, and Rocky Klaus, number 48. The linebackers, Justin Murray, 52, Nick Etzkorn, 45, and Doug Martz, number 36. We'll check those corners for you and the safety here in a second. It's going to be a 1st down situation, 6:37 remaining on the lone zone scoreboard, 1st quarter, 1st and 10 from the 14. Let's check this quarterback out, Nate Keller, number 17. He goes to Puffenberger, and I tell you, there's nothing there. Defense there, Howard.
Yeah, they even come out with two tight ends, double flanker, 1 back. Tiffin's not a team that looks like they believe in a 2-back offense with a lead back, and that's tough because your lineman, it's man on man. There's no lead back coming through.
Corners are Steve Wiekert, 40, Brad Klaus, 16. Safeties are Josh Will, 15, and Jeff Fisher, number 21. Those are all your starters for the Delphos St. John Blue Jays. It's going to be a 2nd down. They need 9 after the 1-yard pickup. And this is the quarterback wanting to throw again. It's a short pass play. This time it's complete around the 16, 17-yard line, and the receiver is one of the guys out of that backfield, Todd Ionatuno. Took us like a half hour before the game to learn to pronounce that one.
I'm still not confident enough to attempt it, but right there it was pretty much a running play for Tiffin. I mean, you could tell the timing on his cut, the ball is delivered, and a great catch. Puts him in a 3rd down long situation.
We still have to check the corners and the safety for you for Tiffin Calvert's defense. We'll do that when time allows. Right now, St. John's going to try to stop him here on a 3rd down and 7 from the 17-yard line. Pass play for Keller, has himself a receiver, but he overshoots Justin Keefe, who has over almost 600 yards receiving this year and 9 touchdowns. So the Jays hold him, and it's going to be time for the Senecas to kick the football away.
Seneca lined up an empty, what we call empty formation. They had no backs, and they had them all split out and try to run two receivers on slant patterns and get the inside receiver to run out to the flats and hopefully catch it and get the first down. But he overthrew him. He was open.
Wickert and Fisher with a punt coming from Dustin Reisner. Gets his foot into it. It's a short one, going to be taken by Fisher at the 47. Turns the afterburners on, but he will go down at the 44-yard line. The Jays will set up their O, and that'll give me a chance to tell you the cornerbacks and the safety for Tiffin Calvert is Justin Keefe, number 10. The cornerback, the other cornerback is Todd Ionatuno, number 7, and Dustin Reisner, the safety, number 46. Those are all your starters on both the offense and the defense, brought to you by Gossard Moving Service, where your smooth move starts. Let's see if the Jays get something going here. 1st and 10, 42-yard line. McCormick with 23 touchdowns this year goes to Schulte. He falls forward for a pickup of about 4 yards. Let me give you some numbers here. Offense for St. John's, Jace Metzner with almost 1,000 yards receiving this year on 43 catches and 17 TDs. Dave Martz, the running back and fullback, 604 yards this year and 7 touchdowns. Chad Schulte, 1,390 yards, 21 touchdowns this year, over 5,000 career rushing yards at Delphos St. John's. 2nd and 6. Pass play again. Out pattern is going to be caught and knocked out of bounds before they are able to pick up a first down. And for St. John's, the catch, John Odenweller, who is a flanker who has over 200 yards receiving this year on those 10 receptions. You know, also, Coach, they're going to be using out of that backfield tonight. They've got Doug Martz, number 36. They've got Zach Weber, 37, who has 995 yards coming into this football game on only 66 carries. And also you'll see possibly Jordan Bowers, number 27, who has almost 100 yards rushing this year. All kinds of weapons.
Yeah, they complement each other real well, too. And it's amazing how they sum them up. We got short yardage here.
Schulte's going to pick up the first, keeps on going. Got one guy to beat, he knocks him down. Chad Schulte's going to score a touchdown for Delphos St. John's. That touchdown is going to come at the 4:19 mark of our first quarter. St. John's on top, 6-0 after a 33-yard rush by Chad Schulte. He may not be able to cut real well, but I'll tell you what, he still runs hard.
That defensive back for Calvert's looking for the license plate right now. What just hit him? That was a very strong run.
He won head-to-head. Charlie Webb now coming in to try his 72nd extra point. Puts it up, and he puts it through. I should say that is his 72nd. He is now 72 of 74 this season in extra points. And right now, St. John's goes on top on the Lone Zone scoreboard by the score of 7-0. As we now go down to Scott Stiles on the sideline, who had a good look at that touchdown.
It was a great run by Schulte. He lowered his shoulder. He's able to move a lot better this week. He lowered his shoulder, and boom, he's in for the score. That's the Chad Schulte that they've been waiting on, and they just got a view of it right there. Carl?
Let's go to Dave Mesker with our scoring summary.
This scoring summary brought to you, as always, by Kraus Lumber on Market Street in Lima, where service is more than a slogan. That drive covered 3 plays, Carl, 42 yards, and took a minute 22 off the clock, with Chad Schulte topping it off a 33-yard touchdown run, extra point good. Delphos St. John's up 7-0 here in the first quarter.
And now Delphos St. John's ready to kick the football off again. And their kicker, averages about 53 yards every time he puts the foot into it. And back deep for the Senecas will be, well, the man they want to see get the football, and that is Bart Fisher. Bart kicks, Bart receives on the kickoff, Bart receives on the punt. Bart is the split end, Bart does it all. And this time, the Senecas will go down around the 27-yard line. And that time, it was Justin Keefe on the carry. Got to thank our good buddy, Craig Seaver from the Carriage Inn in Delphos, where we invite you to stop on out after the football game. During basketball season, do the same. What we got up here, Howard, this week? We got some, is there anything left? We got some wings. We got some sandwiches. We've got some chips, taco salad, the whole deal. Craig takes care of us. Now, he brought that all the way from Delphos, Ohio, all the way to Findlay, and it's still hot.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had one of them wings. They're definitely hot.
So thanks to Craig. Passing play for the Senecas, and we've got all kinds of contact on that sideline. It looked like for a second there that the defensive back for Delphos St. John's looked like Doug Martz back there. They were going at each other pretty hard.
Yeah, they're manning up, and what they're trying to do, looks like right now, they're trying to frustrate Tiffin's receivers, hitting them down the field. You know, there's no 5-yard limit in high school, but unfortunately he's a little too aggressive. When the ball's thrown, he's got to back off, and he didn't.
Well, 2 of the remaining 24 schools in the tournaments this year are making their first ever appearance in the state semis. Division 6, we've got Lancaster Fisher Catholic and Cuyahoga Heights, both first-timers, and whoever wins this football game here tonight is going to play one of those 2 teams. 13 of the remaining 24 schools in the tournaments are former state champs, including 4 that won titles last year. Of course, St. John's one of those. Pass play, nice little slant pattern this time to keep. Look at him go, turns it on and goes out of bounds as Brad Klaus just grabs a hold of him and throws him down. It's going to be a nice pickup, though. A first down for the Senecas as, again, they use Justin Keefe, the 5'10", 160-pound senior.
Nice little flanker screen. They just send him underneath, and the linemen take off. As long as that ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage, they can go downfield. I think Delphos was fortunate. I think they could almost tacked on an unsportsmanlike there at the end of the play, but that was a nice play.
Well, the Senecas are averaging about 35 points per ball game this year, and they find themselves scoreless right now, down 7-zip. 4:02 remaining. They go with their number 1 running back. He fumbles the football. The Blue Jays are going to get, no, they're going to say he was down. They're going to say the running back, Eric Puffenberger, the 5'10", 165-pound junior, hit the ground, then the ball popped out, so they will keep the football.
That's a tough call. I guess on the Delphos side. On Tiffin, they think it's a great call. But right now, Tiffin can't seem to get the running game on track. I think they're going to put the ball in the air quite a bit.
And your definition of tough call is what, Howard? Well, Bob Arnson
if it doesn't go your way.
Bob Arnson says that, it means it's a cruddy call. Pass play again. Back to pass. Keller got himself a receiver. That's a nice reception by Todd Ionatuno.
I tell you, Keller throws a nice ball. That was on a rollout, and he threw it on the line. And it was nicely covered by Delphos. Another step, and he's picking that off.
And he's just a junior. St. John's has been in the tournament 4 times. Tiffin Calvert 5 times. State semis 4 times for Calvert, 3 times for St. John's. The Jays have 1 championship. Tiffin Calvert 2. They won it back in 80 and 81.
Right, this is a school that's, they're football strong school.
3rd down and 2 from the 37. Keller again wants to throw, and that one might have been partially tipped.
I think it was. I think he really intended to want to hit the post man, but he was well covered and threw the long out pattern. That brings up 4th down.
Tiffin Calvert beat Gibsonburg last week, 21-zip. Of course, we did the St. John-St. Henry game. What a game that was. St. John's won that one 17-13. And in that football game, it was Zach Weber, a 17-yard run with a couple of minutes remaining in the game to win it for St. John's. Weber had 120 yards rushing in that football game. 4th down situation. They're going to punt it away again. Fair catch called for at the 10, and that is where Delphos St. John's will set up their offense. You know, that St. Henry game last week, what a game that was. Had about 6,000 fans there at Piqua. And with 3 minutes and 22 seconds to play, St. Henry was ahead 13-10. And then it was up to the Blue Jays, and they didn't panic. They came down, scored the touchdown. Jace Metzner got injured in the first quarter, had a couple of catches for 45 yards, a knee injury. Chad Schulte was injured, didn't go 100% last week. He was 15 for 65 yards. Scott McCormick was 8 of 13 for 96 yards, and they will go with the option McCormick, and he's got some running room. Look at the blockers out front. Nice move by McCormick. He's at the 35, the 40, and he will go out. No, he's still inbounds inside the 50-yard line. Scott McCormick will pick up the first down for Delphos St. John's. Nice run, Howard.
That was beautiful. You know, he ran a little belly option. and it's assignment football. Nobody looked like they were assigned to the quarterback. And when he got out there, McCormick, he was like running a fullback. 44-yard run by McCormick. So again, the thing is, early was the field position for Delphos, and Tiffin had the field position there, but after one play, they've given that up.
Well, we haven't seen that bigger run by Scott this year. All the games we've carried for St. John's, but it was a good one as that time off right tackle. They pick up about, maybe a yard or so. It's going to set up a 2nd down and 9.
Well, they're back to the ground. 2nd and long here. Looks like Delphos is going to call timeout.
That'll be the first time out of the ball game. We will do the same. 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in this first quarter. The Jays on top of the Senecas, 7-zip. Okay.
Citizens Bank of Delphos, member FDIC.
Randy Custer here at Raby's announcing the biggest truck sale of the year going on now.
Plus, buy this new 98 Ranger and I'll throw in a bed liner.
Or buy this 99 F-150 and I'll throw in a bed liner. Lease this F-150 short bed and I'll throw in the bed liner.
Or buy this 99 Ranger Super Cab and I'll throw in the bed liner.
Or buy this F-150 Super Cab and I'll throw in a free bed liner.
And we've got interest rates as low as 1.9. And we will throw in a bed liner.
At Raby's.
Tonight's the night I'm gonna pop the question.
So did you get the ring yet?
No. I wanted to get her something that says, I'm really in this for the long haul. It's a train. What? I'm making a commitment here.
Trust your home to a full-service trained professional like Canadian Sons Plumbing and Heating Kaleida. They have the experience you want and the service you expect. And remember, it's hard to stop a train.
When we built our house, we found a lot that was just perfect.
Yeah, well, it was the worst site I'd ever seen.
It had everything.
Earthquakes, tidal waves, horizontal rays.
We wanted lots of windows.
I insisted on Anderson windows.
At Anderson, we appreciate the builders who time after time make it look easy.
We're still in love with this house.
And I'm still recovering.
Worry-proof, time-proof. Anderson Windows.
Your Anderson window dealer is Vetter Lumber in Bluffton and Fort Jennings.
The holiday season is upon us, and Krause Lumber Do-It Center has the gifts you've been looking for. Take a trip back in time to Lefton Village. These beautiful homes and figurines will brighten up any home this holiday season. We carry a complete line of Lefton collectibles for you to choose from for that special someone. For the handyman around the house, you can choose from any of these tool sets now for only $8.97. Give the gift they can open every day with this half-horse chain drive garage door opener, a super buy for $129.97. Stop in today and start the holidays right with Krause Lumber Do-It Center.
Welcome back to Donnell Stadium. The Delphos St. John Blue Jays on top of the Senecas. 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining first quarter. It is 7-zip. St. John's right now faced with a 2nd down 9 situation from the 47-yard line, and they will go from the shotgun. Scott McCormick has got trips right side, one with Jace Metzner set up on the left side. Looking downfield, down the middle of the field, and he has a receiver, and it is almost caught just beyond the outstretched fingers of John Odenweller, the flanker.
Wow, I'll tell you what, that was close to another 6 points. Probably overthrew maybe by a couple feet, but he was definitely open. It was a nice ball thrown, just unfortunately just a little long.
Tiffin Calvert's head coach is Toby Hammond. He has been at Tiffin Calvert 4 seasons. 27-15, the overall record. They beat Antwerp in their first round game, 34-zip, and I mentioned they beat Gibsonburg after that. St. John's has beat Hardin Northern and St. Henry. 3rd down and 9. Here comes the defense. They set up a nice screen. This is Martz. Martz cutting through the defenders, and he picks up a first down for Delphos St. John's. Nice play.
Real nice job by their offensive line getting out in front, and they had the pursuit coming to the sideline. He cuts back toward the middle of the field, and big play, and we have first down on 29-yard line. Right now, that's 11 runs and 5 passes for Delphos, so they're mixing it up quite well.
Approaching the 1-minute mark. We're down to 1 minute and 42 seconds. It's going to be a first down and 10 situation. The ball is going to be resting at the 29-yard line, right down there by Scott Stiles, our man on the sidelines. We'll be going to Scott here in a second. Jace Metzner on this side of the field for Delphos St. John's. Out of the I formation, McCormick goes pitch Schulte. Schulte picking his way through with that big offensive line. Something you'd appreciate, Howard. You know, we had Tony Steeman as our player of the game the last time you did a football game with me, and we talked to some of the moms for Delphos St. John's last week, and they tell me that they get together on Wednesdays. The moms feed all the members of the offensive line, and they eat pasta, and they just eat and eat and eat, and it's just a big day for all those guys. In fact, I read an article where Ryan Morris caught a pass last week. You're not allowed to touch the football like that. Caught a touchdown pass. He's afraid he wasn't going to get to eat with a lineman anymore.
I'm surprised he didn't throw that ball down or give it to a back real quick.
Second down, 7. Here comes the defense, and there's some movement. And looks like either they're offsides or maybe somebody on the Blue Jays side set him off. We'll see what the call is.
I think it was number 77, Steeman, the big right offensive tackle. But did you notice there they're using Weber, and now they put him in the slot back. Another way to get him the football. You know, fake it to Schulte, which you have to respect, and then you've got a weapon in Weber going the other way.
Right where Tim Beckman said last week after Schulte was not 100%, they brought Weber in. He was hoping they was going to save him till next fall, and they just didn't do that.
Oh, I know.
He's only a sophomore, folks, and he, like I said, 66 carries for 995 yards after last week's game. 18 touchdowns. 30 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Out of the shotgun again. This is McCormick looking deep. Goes instead with a short pass to Schulte. There's some blockers out front. Chad goes forward and goes down short of the first down. And that will probably be the final play of this first quarter.
Another screen play. They've got Tiffin rushing real hard, and they're playing a lot of man-to-man, so if they're getting run off deep, they don't see this developing, and their linemen are getting out real nice and getting those 2 inside linebackers, and right now the screen's the thing they're going to slow down the rush. They're taking the deep stuff, so they're taking what Tiffin's giving them.
Well, we played 12 minutes of play here from Donnell Stadium in Findlay. Our score in this Division 6 state semifinal, St. John's on top of Tiffin Calvert 7-zip. Second quarter action coming up next, right here on Fox.
Serious golfers, stop by CR Golf in Delphos. CR Golf will custom design clubs to match your swing. They can reap your clubs too. CR Golf, 331 North Main in Delphos.
We're here to help you grow. Making for the hometown life. Making the people you know. We're a hometown bank. We're hometown friends. We're here to help you grow. Making for the hometown life. The hometown.
Citizens Bank of Delphos. Member FDIC.
Come home to where the action is.
Delphos is a great place to live and raise a family. If you're thinking about building a new home in Delphos, consider the benefits of Heritage Meadow off State Route 190. Heritage Meadow has more than 20 lots to choose from. Most are 96 feet by 140 feet. All lots have underground utilities and adhere to certain building codes and restrictions. Heritage Meadow is serviced by the City of Delphos, and all lots are zoned as non-commercial. Lots start at $17,500. Call for a quote today.
Hi, this is John LaRich from LaRich Chevrolet Cadillac, and we've got to move the 98s out now. Check out a 98 Chevy Venture 4-door extended van with front and rear air, only $20,995. Or a 98 Chevy Lumina with V6 automatic air and a whole lot more, just $15,995. And with 0.9% financing on almost every new car on the lot and cashback incentives, it's time you made the switch. LaRich Chevrolet Cadillac in the heart of downtown Findlay.
I'm known for mysteries, but given the season, I thought a love story more appropriate. It's about Arby's French dip sub. The main character is warm and tender. Then another character is introduced. They meet. They're obviously meant for each other. I love that part. It always brings a tear to my eye. No, wait. That's just a splash of au jus.
Experience the warmth of the season with Arby's French dip or French dip and Swiss subs. Just $1.99.
Well, we've got one quarter in the books here from Dial Stadium. St. John's on top 7-zip as we go down to the dapper Scott Stiles on the sideline.
Carl, it's early in the game, but you can really see already the big fellas for Tiffin are really wearing down. Steeman and his boys are really putting it to him on the offensive line now, developing a great cushion to run in. An update, right now, number 70, Keith Godey, is out of the game. They're looking at his right knee. It looks like he might have twisted it, Carl. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Scott, as we'll have some of those first quarter numbers for you here in a second after we run one of our offensive plays. It's going to be a 3rd down and 3 for Delphos St. John's. Fresh 12 minutes up on the board. Pass play is going to be a little bit behind the intended receiver. And that for St. John's that time was Craig Hershey, who is rotating in with Jace Metzner as we go to Dave Mesker with some numbers.
Well, Carl, we were just charting the play selection for both squads here in the first quarter, and Delphos St. John's with a steady diet of runs. They've run twice as many runs, now 13, and they've passed 6 times. Meantime, Tiffin Calvert, a steady diet of passing. In that first quarter, they threw 8 times and ran it 3 times.
4th down and 3 situation now for the Jays as they go for it. 22-yard line. McCormick looking to throw, has himself a receiver, but he overshoots the intended receiver that time, who was number 16, Brad Klaus.
Yeah, I think he'd like to have that back. His tight end was open down the middle of the field. But, you know, he made the decision. A lot of times they hit that.
Well, that means that the Senecas are going to get the football back, and we have not really seen them turn it on yet, Howard. They've got some big players on this team in terms of talent, and one of them, Bart Fisher, the other one, Justin Keith. Also Todd Ionatuno, who is one of their guys out of the backfield they use as a receiver, and Eric Puffenberger, who is questionable coming into tonight's football game as he's got a knee injury as well. 1st and 10, 22-yard line. Passing again is Nate Keller. Keller looking way downfield for Keith, and he's going to come up short. Justin Keith.
Puffenberger might be hurting, and that's why they're going with empty and 5 receivers. Well, here he comes back in the game. Tiffin right now has punted the ball all 3 series, and unfortunately they had Delphos back. In fact, Delphos, even though they didn't score, won back the field position.
Well, it's going to set up a 2nd down situation now. St. John's averaging 53 points a game. This Tiffin Calvert team here that goes nowhere on that running play is averaging around 34 points a game. The Jays give up just 7 points on the defense, as you saw again there. In on the defense for the Blue Jays, bunch of different guys, and we're able to call all kinds of numbers out when the Jays are on defense. That time it looked like number 50, Sean Ardner, was in there. 60 tackles this year, but Howard, it comes from the linebacker spot for these guys. Justin Murray, the 126 tackles, Ed Scoren 135, and Doug Martz 100 tackles.
Those linebackers, they thank those front linemen because they're the ones that keep them free to make those tackles. They get the credit.
But I tell you, these defensive backs, and as you mentioned, that defensive line causing all sorts of problems right now for Nate Keller, the co-district player of the year this year, along with Chad Scholey, as they're going to have to punt it away again, Howard.
They've got some quickness with those receivers. You know, you say they're coming out of the backfield. Actually, they only have 1 in the backfield.
Right.
But they've got some quickness. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to connect.
Should say they're listed as halfbacks, but will not be lined up in the backfield. as this kick is going to be a little short. It's going to bounce around, and Wiekert gets out of the way as well as Fisher and goes inside the 30-yard line, and that is where Tiffin Calvert is going to have the football there for the Jays, as they're going to have a chance to try to add some points to this 7-zip score. Hey fans, mark your calendar for Sunday, January 24th. I'll be there. Howard will be there. The whole Fox crew is going to be there. I'll tell you about it later here, Howard. Pay attention. We're going to throw the biggest NFL Super Bowl party that Lima's ever seen. Our second Super Bowl pregame show, the Lima Holiday Inn. We've got guys like Eddie Johnson, Sam Clancy, Ricky Feature, Cleo Miller. Also maybe big Al Bubba Baker will be there. And we're going to be giving out all sorts of prizes and neat stuff going on. I'll have more details for you here in a second. 1st and 10, 29-yard line, timeout called by the Jays. We've sent invitations out for this party to Bobby Hoeing, Jeff Hardings, William White, Jim Lachey. Mike Pruitt will be my co-host one more time this year. Fox 67 Super Bowl pregame show will also include a display from Wilson Sporting Goods of one football from Super Bowls 20 on up. Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton is also expected to have a display at the Holiday Inn. Plus, we'll have huge NFL inflatables to bounce around in and play with. It's one of those, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm not getting involved.
Like those moonwalk things, the football throws and all that.
Yeah.
Fox 67 and the United Way of Greater Lima will auction off a ton of NFL memorabilia. I don't write this stuff, I just read it. Including an authentic Cleveland Browns helmet and a football. Lots of autographed stuff, too. It's the biggest Super Bowl party Lima's ever seen. Sunday, January 24th, the Lima Holiday Inn, 1 to 6 p.m. Admission is free. Make plans to join us. Talked to Al Bubba Baker on the phone the other day. He's pumped up.
Oh, yeah?
He's pumped up.
Sounds like a good time. I mean, anytime it's free admission and all those people there.
I can't believe we're letting them in free, though, being Fox and everything.
That's right.
Make sure you're there, Howard.
It's a quality channel.
You're right. Pass play again, McCormick. He has a receiver this time. Brad Klaus, one man to beat. Klaus looks back. He turns on the afterburners. Touchdown, Jays. Brad Klaus this time is able to step in for St. John's, and he puts them up on the lone zone scoreboard on a nice pass play from Scott McCormick. He makes the score 13-zip. That is a 71-yard touchdown play.
What a nice throw. The receiver just split the defensive back, and he laid it right in, and he took it the distance. What speed. He turned you right. I think there were some afterburners.
Brad Klaus came in with 10 catches for 157 yards. That is his 3rd touchdown of the year. And Mr. Reliable Charlie Webb cannot connect this time. So it's a 2nd straight week where Charlie has not been able to connect on either one of his extra points or one of his field goals. But right now, though, Howard, with that touchdown and the way this Jays defense is playing, this 13-0 lead looks pretty good.
But I tell you, Tiffin, I got to believe it is an explosive team. You know, they go 4 wide and throw it. They very simply can hit a seam like that also.
Well, from last year, the state champs, the Delphos St. John Blue Jays in 6, Liberty Center in 5, Germantown Valley View in 4, and they're not going to have a chance again this year. They're out. Columbus St. Francis de Sales in 3, Defiance in 2, and Canton McKinley in Division 1. As we go to Dave Mesker with our scoring summary.
Scoring summary brought to you by Krause Lumber on Market Street in Lima, where service is more than a slogan. Howie, 10 seconds is all it took. 2 plays, covers 71 yards. McCormick to Klaus, extra point good. 2nd quarter score, Delphos St. John's, or pardon me, no good. And the 2nd quarter score, Delphos St. John's 13-0.
You know, I know Scott Stiles can call you Howie. Is he allowed to call you Howie?
Oh, yes,
okay.
he can do that now, yes.
Okay, just checking. I don't want you pummeling on him or anything like that.
No, not Scott.
1st and 10 will be the situation for Tiffin Calvert as soon as they run back one here. They haven't had a chance to really get some great field position yet. They're trying right now with Fisher. Tries to get to the outside, and Bart is not going to get much. And so 1st and 10 situation, the Jays will bring that defense back out, and they need to get something going as we go down to Scott Stiles on the sideline for an updated report.
Carl is in the huddle on that last timeout before the touchdown. What they want to do is fake the pitch because their linebackers are really flowing hard to the run. So they fake the pitch, hit Klaus on the run, perfect throw, perfect catch, touchdown Delphos. Back to you guys.
Man, they're letting Scott in the huddles now, Howard. It's amazing.
He likes being in the huddles. A lot of times we try to keep him out, but
they know his reputation. First and 10, 20-yard line. Let's see what the quarterback can do this time. Not much there. And I tell you, in there on the defense was Josh Ricker, and I think he had his hands on that one.
Well, they came back with that little flanker screen again, and the defensive line this time read it. They didn't rush up the field quite as hard. And Tiffin was fortunate the ball wasn't picked off and going the other way.
So it's going to set up a second down situation. Nate Keller, with over 2,700 yards passing this year and 42 touchdowns, has been unable to get untracked. Quick pass play. There's one. Oh, and it's dropped. Todd Ionatuno was there, but could not hold on to it.
Yeah, he tried to run a little bit before he caught it. The pass wasn't, nice and high where you're in running position. He needed to go down and make the catch and get what he could, and they still would have gotten the first down out of it.
We're down to 10 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in this second quarter. St. John's on top, 13-zip. Some other teams in action tonight: Lancaster Fisher Catholic, Cuyahoga Heights, as we are one football game away from returning to Canton. Not Massillon, but Canton.
Well, we're going
next
both.
Friday. Well, yeah, that's right.
But Delphos, that's where Delphos will be playing.
Well, that one's
if they win.
Fly ball to center field. Yep, St. John's would win. They would go to Canton next Friday. And we would have all the action for you here on Fox 67. As Howard says, we're also going to have the other games. The odd ones are going to be at Massillon.
That 5 punts in a row for Tiffin in each series. They haven't been able to sustain a drive like they like to.
Fourth down, another punting situation for Reisner as he gets it to Fisher. Jeff cuts it upfield and will go down inside the 45-yard line. St. John's will have some great field position. We'll tell you that some of the other teams still left in Division 5. You've got Versailles, Wheelersburg, Liberty Center, and Warren John F. Kennedy as Liberty Center trying to repeat. Division 4, Cincinnati, Wyoming, going to be taking on Coldwater, your MAC team tonight, Howard. And Wyoming's got a player in the backfield by the name of Richard Hall, who is amazing. They're going to have to put up with that tonight. Also, Orville and Huron in Division 4. First and 10 for the Jays. Man in motion will be Morris. Ryan sets up now. Ball at the 42, pitch back, Schulte. Look at him weave his way through the middle of that football field out there, which looks like it's kind of torn up a little bit, but not too many problems so far. As we tell you, in Division 3, still remaining, Hamilton-Baden, Beloit, West Branch. Howie will tell you more about that team here in a second. Columbus, St. Francis, DeSales, and Cuyahoga Falls, Walsh, Jesuit. Division 2, it's Lebanon, Chardon, Salina, and Mayfield. Also, the best of luck to Salina. We'll tell you about Division 1 here in a second. Second and 3 from the 35, and there's some offsides there going to be called against that defense, Tiffin Calvert, unless that right side of the Jays offense moved.
Yeah, I believe the offensive tackle, the right offensive tackle, moved again for Delphos. Looked like Tiffin wanted to bring a linebacker, and I think Tony Steeman has to cut that gap off, and he wanted to get the jump on him.
Well, Tony, the lineman of the year in the district for Delphos St. John's, one of the many that has received honors this year. And as this game goes along, we'll tell you about all those honors. Right now, though, it's a second down 8 from the 40-yard line with 9:29 remaining here in this first half. Shotgun McCormick looking downfield, has Morris, and a little bit too much on that one. I tell you, he got the one hand up there, Howard, and he almost pulled that one down.
Oh, I think he would have pulled it in, but the defensive back was right there. It's great timing on his part, that free safety. That's what you like to see. A kid that drops, and on the pass, he breaks on the football. And, there's a heck of an effort by both of them.
Division 1's team still in it: Cincinnati St. Xavier, Canton McKinley, Upper Arlington, and Cleveland St. Ignatius. After this week, we'll be down to the championship games. And the Blue Jays and their head coach, Vic Whiting, trying to do it for the second year in a row. And right now, it's a third down situation. They need 8 from the 40-yard line. This is McCormick again, out of the shotgun. Here comes the defense, and he will go down. That really wasn't a sack as per se, because big number 71, Ian Cook, didn't get a hand on him, but he forced him to the ground.
Yeah, they're setting up the screen again, and Tiffin read it. That's the thing with screens. If they're red, you're in trouble. You might as well just throw the football away, but with the pressure, he tried to avoid it, and with the footing the way it is, and it's not bad at all, believe me. At this time of the year, this is beautiful field conditions. He wasn't able to maintain his footing.
Well, it's going to be, again, Doug Martz for Delphos St. John's, who's averaging 34 yards a punt. Going to try it again. Gets his foot into it, and he booms one all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's going to be Bart Fisher who takes it, fair catch, and he will set up the offense right there.
Tiffin tried to make something happen there. They went for the punt, and they nearly got it. They didn't set up for the return, but the guy did a nice job making the fair catch. They got the ball on the 25-yard line. Now they're going to see if they can sustain a long drive.
The other two teams in the semis are, again, Lancaster Fisher Catholic and Cuyahoga Heights. They're playing at Mansfield Seniors Arlen Field tonight, and the winners from these two games are going to advance to the finals on Friday, December the 4th. That'll be a 3:30 game at Canton.
Well, I know I'm looking forward to it. I go down there every year, and there's some great football going on. So if anybody, you have nothing to do next weekend, I'd make a long weekend. It's a lot of fun.
Doug Martz on the tackle that time. Coming along next week, Howard?
Well, I know I'm going to be there.
We'll let you hang with the big boys.
All right, I'm only a little pup. You know, you big dogs. But I'll try to hang with you.
Okay. We're just, we always extend a warm hand and an invitation to guys like you.
You'll probably give me your dirty work again, right?
Just bring your checkbook with you. That's all I got to say. Second down, 7. Pass play again down that left field sideline, and I tell you, Fisher, who is one of their top receivers, has just been unable to do anything. And that time it was Brad Klaus down there on the defense.
Again, I can say it again, the athleticism by the defensive backs of Delphos St. John's is not enabling Fisher and the other receivers to get down the field and open. They're frustrated right now because they're hitting them at the line of scrimmage and then running with them.
Again, Tiffin Calvert is averaging almost 35 points a game, and they are yet to score in this contest. 3rd and 7 from the 28. Here comes the Jays defense. They get the pass play, the pass down the field to Iona Tuno, but again, it falls incomplete, and it's going to set up another 4th down.
Yeah, that incompletion, you can credit that to the linebacker blitzing in the defensive front. They had him on the run. I know it's a rollout, but you don't like to roll out on a dead sprint and try to throw the football.
Well, the Jays are going to get the ball again in great field position, as again it's going to be Martz and Fisher, or rather I should say Fisher and Wiekert back for Delphos St. John's.
You know, six times they've had the football and the 6th punt of the game here, and we've gone a quarter and a half.
Wiekert from the 34 will go down to the 37. So St. John's will have it again as they'll set up their offense. St. John's averaging 53 points a game, and in this one right now it is 13-0 on the Lone Zone scoreboard with 7:38 remaining in this first half.
Yeah, that's what you like to see out of Delphos and other teams. I know as a coach, that's the number one thing we look for in punt returners. Catch the football. Boy, they catch the ball. You know, so often you see some people let it go and it rolls another 20 yards. Not necessarily do you put the greatest athletes who are going to take it the distance, but catch the football and maintain that field position.
Out of the I formation, first back through. Martz picks up a couple of yards. You know, the St. John Blue Jays finished in the final AP rankings the #1 team in the state of Ohio. They are taking on the team that finished #4, that being Tiffin Calvert. But you know, the thing about Calvert, you talked about the offense so far. Defensively, they have only been giving up 12 points per game to all their opponents this year, and already the Blue Jays in the first half, they've given up 13.
But look how many Delphos scores per game, so right now they're probably not doing too bad.
We can throw all kinds of numbers out, can't we, Howard? Don't mean a whole bunch in a game like this.
That's right.
2nd and 7 from the 40-yard line. Scott McCormick will go with the option pitch shoulder. Look at the nice job on the defense, and he fumbles the ball.
I believe he was down.
And what? They're going to say he was down. A nice job, though, on the defense again that time, but Tiffin Calvert, they read that one. They're starting to get to the point where, you know, and in this situation, Howard, as a coach, you know that when you're talking St. John's playing St. Henry or whatever in the playoffs, you guys know each other. You know, the last down to the last player. If you get into a situation like that, the only chance you really get to see each other, you send a scout out, but the game film is important as well.
That's right. You know, you have to fill each other out because it's hard on film to determine the speed and the quickness of individuals, and that's the big thing. And the kids have been able to do that now. They've gone toe-to-toe, and they know what to expect a little bit more out of each other.
Play action McCormick. He's in trouble. Out of the pocket now, looking for a receiver. Has one, and it is going to be knocked down. Nice defense. I tell you, this Todd Ionatuno, not only is his name hard to pronounce, but I tell you, he does a nice job not only on the offense, but he's back here doing a great job on the D.
He's all over. He's, I guess, what you call a playmaker. That was an excellent play. You know, just the way you coach it, come across with that hand and tackle with the offhand, and he did a real nice job breaking it up. But again, Tiffin Calvert had some pressure on McCormick, and he was running for his life to get rid of it. Out of Delphos St. John, this will be their fourth punt. So Tiffin's done a real nice job. Has done a real nice job here.
Doug Martz from the 30 gets a nice booming kick in all the way back to the 17-yard line, and Fisher did a great job of just catching that football, but his momentum caused him to go down on his back.
Again, he tried to make a cut, and his feet kind of went, and he couldn't gather back up and just kind of fell backwards. But you're right, it was a great over-the-shoulder catch. Nice punt.
If you're wondering about the Senecas, they are from the Midland Athletic League. They play teams like Oregon Cardinal Stritch. One of the teams that St. John's beat last year, Norwalk St. Paul, Sandusky St. Mary's, Central Catholic, Fostoria St. Wendelin, Attica Seneca East, Cary, North Baltimore, Fremont St. Joe, Sycamore Mohawk, and Bascom Hopewell Loudon. Those are the teams they've beat this year. 1st and 10, the quarterback will pass the football out to Fisher. And for one of the few times tonight, they're able to connect.
Yeah, Delphos brought the corner blitz, came off the corner, nice quick drop and release, and hit the slant pattern.
You know, Howard, Tiffin Calvert didn't really have any close games this year. The closest they had was 28-21 to Fremont St. Joe in week number 8 of the regular season. Besides that, you're looking at 3 touchdown games most of the time, similar to St. John's, although some of theirs were a lot worse.
So they're playing a real good football game. They're still in this football game. You know, with their offense, it's a fast break type of offense. You know, defensively, they've held Delphos here. So if they can get something together here before half, put some points on the board, we're going to have a heck of a second half.
Well, they needed 2 to pick up the first. They didn't get any there. In fact, looks like they lost a yard. So it's going to set up a 3rd down and 3 with 5 minutes exactly remaining here in this first half as the Blue Jay fans pumping up their defense right now as the ball's resting at the 21. Pass play again. Keller has himself a receiver, and look at Steve Wiekert. He is there to pull down Ionatuno, where he is unable to go anywhere.
Yeah, I got to believe Tiffin, this is probably the first team all year they've gone against with this team speed. You know, right there is an indication. It looked like it was open, and all of a sudden he catches, and it's shut off. Good defensive play there by Delphos St. John.
Well, again, a punt situation. It's going to be Reisner back to kick the football again, and he gets a nice spiraling punt away, and it's going to be Jeff Fisher getting away from the first tackler, the second one, the third one, and finally he goes down around the 45-yard line. Nice job by Jeff.
I'll tell you what, they're fearless back there, aren't they? They catch it, and they make the moves, and that lasted 10 seconds, and he got 6 yards. He's winding all over.
I think it's got to impress anybody that sees this St. John's team is their workmanship. I mean, the way they just go matter-of-factly from game to game, just one game at a time, just taking care of business.
Yeah, they complement one another. It's not one. It doesn't bother them who does it. It's just let's get it done.
It's the synergy that Vic Whiting has been promoting since he first came to Delphos St. John's. A little bit of trouble on that pitch back, but they're still able to pick up about 5 or 6 yards as Chad Scholey trying to make his presence known. Chad, the District Player of the Year, Northwest District Player of the Year. Actually, the specific name is the Northwest Inland All-District Football Team Co-Player of the Year, in case you want to document that.
There you go.
Of course, the other guy with him was a quarterback from Tiffin Calvert, Nate Keller.
And I think both of them are very deserving. Very deserving.
Second down, 5 from the 39. Here he goes again. He is going to pick up the first, keeps on going. And I tell you, if he would have gotten through there at the 30, he only had one man to beat. And he had Odenweller and Martz out there lead blocking for him. He probably would have went all the way.
We've got a young man down here for Tiffin. I can't get the number, but right there was a little bit of vintage Schulte cutting on a dime. Tiffin, you could see the Tiffin players were ready to make the tackle, and all of a sudden he's gone.
Well, let's see what Scott Stiles is doing down on the sideline.
Carl, what's going on right now, they're working on, it looks like Molesky or whatever, down, looks like he hurt his knee, twisted his knee in the soft part in the middle of the field, but Delphos is just grinding it out, running right over him, steaming. Those guys are really making a nice cushion for Schulte to run through. But Vic wants to get a score big time before the quarter, get at least three score cushion on these guys. The defense is pesky for Tiffin. They're really playing good hard-nosed football, but I tell you what, they're just getting out-muscled right now.
Okay, thank you very much, Scott, as we are down to 3 minutes and 27 seconds remaining here in this second quarter. I'd like to tell you a few things. I know we're at a state semifinal high school football game, but if you have a chance, tomorrow's locker room show at noon, one of Howard's favorite shows, is going to feature basketball, as we're going to preview the 1998-99 high school basketball season. My guest will be Bob Arnzen, who was the head basketball coach for Delphos St. John's for 43 seasons, the second winningest coach in the state of Ohio. He'll be my partner again this year in all of our basketball rebroadcasts, as well as my other partner, who had over 400 career wins as the head basketball coach at Convoy Crestview. That is Ray Etzler, and they have picked the top teams from this area in all the different leagues. And that show will be rebroadcast tomorrow at noon. Our first football, or rather basketball game of the year, Howard, is actually scheduled for next Friday night. And we're hoping that we don't do it, believe it or not. You know why, right?
Yeah, you'll be in Canton. But, you know, those two guys, I don't know, do they know a whole lot about basketball?
No. I carry them as much as I can.
I'll bet. They just had good players, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a situation where, you know, last year Delphos St. John's went all the way down to the state tournament in basketball after winning the football championship. And there haven't been too many teams in the state of Ohio that have been able to do that.
This is a big series here for Tiffin Calvert. You know, they don't want to give up another score, and if they can get into the locker room, get their breather, and coaches maybe make a few adjustments and things, they've got a better chance. They can't give up a score here.
And we've been saying that Dustin Reisner has been doing some of the punting for Tiffin Calvert. They have another man, a player on the roster who has also been doing some punting, and that is Bart Fisher. And looks like maybe Bart's been doing some of that punting as well here tonight for Tiffin Calvert. Let me check his numbers out for you, as Fisher is listed as the backup punter. And I was checking out his punting and his statistics. Actually, he has punted the football more than Reisner this season. And they're kind of mixing things up back there in that regard. And as soon as I can find all of his numbers here, we'll let you know about Bart Fisher. And it kind of makes sense. Fisher does everything else. He might as well punt too.
Boy, he does. He's a talented athlete. He doesn't come off the field.
And so it's going to be a first down and 10 situation. For the Delphos St. John Blue Jays at the 3:27 mark. This is McCormick under center. We'll pitch it back to Schulte as we now go down again to Scott Stiles on the sideline.
Carl, during that last time out, Coach Whiting said, look, we got 3 minutes left. We're going to run the ball. We're going to leave no time left on the clock. And we're going to get a score. He goes, I don't want any offsides or anything. He goes, run the ball, take care of it, and let's get out of here with the three-score lead.
Scott listening in on the huddle again, as Coach Overman, Scott, told us that sometimes they wouldn't even let you listen in on the huddles when you played football for him.
No comment, Carl.
You know I wouldn't say that. But you know, right, Scott, they're just going back to their basic off-tackle pitch. You know, that's the second time. Now Weber, looks like they got him well contained.
Boy, he tried to bounce off of some of those blockers there and could not find that hole, as the Tiffin Calvert defense was right there.
You know, that's the best thing you can do against a player like Weber's Calvert is contain him and let more pursuit come and kind of bottle him in. Bottle him in, because I tell you, if you come charging, a lot of times he's going to make you miss.
Well, it's going to be another third down situation. This time for the Jays. Let's see if they can punch it through. They need 8 yards to pick up the first. They are at the 27, make it the 28-yard line now of Tiffin Calvert. Here comes the blitz. And we've got, again, it's either going to be offsides against the D, or unless one of the offensive linemen drew the defensive player. Offsides.
I think we have movement. I think we have movement on the left side. Again, they're bringing their outside backer, and they want to bring him up what we call the C gap between the tight end and the offensive tackle. And they're awfully quick linebackers. And looked like the tight end there wanted to get a little jump on it.
Well, with the penalty again for St. John's, it's going to be a third down. Now let's make it 13. Pass play McCormick looking downfield. He has Metzner, and it's intercepted. Oh, my, what an interception. Did he hold on to it?
Yeah, it looks like they're marking. That was a beautiful play. He broke on the ball real well.
Metzner was there. It went through his hands, and finally it came down to the hands of, I believe, was it number 20?
Number 10.
Number 10, and that is Justin Keefe. And on this defense for Tiffin Calvert, that is the 7th interception for Justin Keefe. And what's really interesting as well is Dustin Reisner, their safety, has 12 interceptions this year.
I'll tell you, that's a mark of being able to break on the ball. You know, Tiffin Calvert here now starting on offense again. They've only attempted 7 runs. They've got to get the running game going a little bit. They've pretty much relied on the passing game. With a minute 54, they've got to get something going. They don't want to give that ball back to Delphos again.
Well, they're going to throw. Looking down the middle of the field, knocked down beautifully by Jeff Fisher.
Tell you what, we're seeing some great defensive back play. You know, a lot of times they're out there on an island, and right now they're making the plays, and they're playing with a lot of confidence, because if he misses that and he catches it, he's gone. He's taking it to the distance.
Again, I'd like to thank our good friends from the Carriage Inn restaurant in Delphos. Craig Seaver bringing up some delicious eats for us, some hot wings and sandwiches, taco salad, and all sorts of other goodies. Stop on by the Carriage Inn. They're on East 5th Street in Delphos. Great place to go anytime during the week, especially after a football game or basketball game. There's a handoff, and there's one reason why they haven't ran the football a lot is Eric Puffenberger, who has over 1,400 yards rushing this year, has just been unable to do anything tonight, Coach.
I'll tell you what, though, that's a play they've got to keep attempting, because Delphos is playing man up, and when they go 4 wide, there is nobody in the secondary. He breaks the first line of defense, it's going to be a big gainer. But right now, Delphos' linebackers is stuffing up real well. I think their middle linebacker is zeroed in on that fullback.
Murray, Etzkorn, and Martz, the linebackers for Delphos St. John's, on a 3rd and 7. Keller wants to throw, has a receiver. This time he brings it down. Keefe has Fisher to beat. Can't get by all the Blue Jays, but he makes a nice catch. Justin Keefe all the way down to the Blue Jay 41.
You know, it's a matter of time. You know, you've got athletes versus athletes, and Delphos' defensive back, you know, they can't win all the battles. And right there, he came down with the big catch. Big catch. It might 45-yard pass play with a minute to go.
Well, they're going to try to strike here. Jay's defense trying to stop him, as we have
a legal procedure here on their center. He double snapped it. He moved it, put it back down, and snapped it again.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's a little fast.
You saw that all the way from up here, Howard.
Oh.
You concentrate on that offensive line, don't you?
Well, again, that's what you always give me a hard time about. Yeah, the offensive line play is important. It sure is, and it all starts there, so you concentrate on that.
Well, that moves them back 5, makes it a 1st and 15. This a big strike offense, trying to put the big blow on the Jays right now. 46-yard line of the Senecas with 45 seconds to go first half. Pass play Keller to Keefe, can't catch it. And so that's going to stop the clock at 41 seconds. On this Jays offense, I should say on this Jays defense, they've got Josh Ricker, first team All-MAC, Rocky Klaus, first team All-MAC and All-District. He's got 18 sacks this year and 83 tackles. Nick Etzkorn, first team All-MAC, first team All-District, and also Josh Will in the defensive backfield, All-District first team.
You know, I wonder if there's something wrong with Rocky. I don't see him in the game here. He hasn't been in there for, he's got to be
wide open, and he overshoots him. Oh, back there on the defense for St. John's was Craig Hershey, but there wasn't anybody else within 15 yards.
Delphos went to a two-deep coverage, and they hoped to get that safety over, but they had a guy down the middle of the field. They ran a little out and up with him.
I tell you, this Ionatuno is pretty quick.
He is. He is. I'll tell you, they like to have that back. I'd like to throw that again because this quarterback, what a nice arm he's got. Too bad, unfortunately, a little strong.
3rd down and 15 from the 46-yard line. 35 seconds. Here comes Martz, and he almost gets him, and pass is going to fall incomplete. But coming in on the blitz for St. John's that time was Doug Martz, one of the linebackers, and that caused all sorts of problems for the quarterback, Keller.
Yeah, they like to bring him off the corner. That all night he's been getting there, but it's been just a little late. They've knocked him down quite a bit. And again, they didn't get the sack, but caused their hurry. Now, if they punt the ball here, which doesn't look like they're going to do. I'm not sure this is what I would do. You know, you're down 13. I'd give the ball to Delphos on the 10-yard line. I wouldn't give it to him here at the 50.
Well, let's see what Keller can do. Looking to throw the ball. Nice job by the offensive line. Has a receiver. It's caught. Then he goes behind the stick. And they're going to, he gets outside to the 25. And I tell you, that time Justin Keefe had a first down to the 30. He ran back to the 27. And the Jays actually had a chance to bring him down before he would have picked up the first down.
I don't know if I wonder if he had an idea where he was at on the field. But again, that's why I'm up here, and I'm not coaching.
I wasn't going to say anything, Howard.
But it's the same situation. I guess the law of averages against you. I don't know how many timeouts that Tiffin has left. They've got 18 seconds on the clock left.
Well, they've got a couple of shots here.
They have one more timeout.
Put it into the end zone. A lot of time remaining, 18 seconds. And in terms of field goals, have no idea what they can do in terms of kicking. Of course, Bart Fisher is the player that kicks the extra points, kicks the field goals, and also kicks off. So, and he also punts. So it's going to be up to Fisher if they need to do that. That would be the option. Otherwise, it's going to be the quarterback, Nate Keller, who has been doing it all season long. I tell you, he's thrown the ball 319 times coming into this football game.
I stand corrected. It looks like they have no more timeouts left, so they need to get out of bounds or...
Well, they've got 4 receivers lined up. One back in the backfield. Keller looking to throw, has a receiver wide open. It's
Fisher,
and he catches it.
Oh, they're going to stop the clock here due to the moving the change.
Bart Fisher, the split end, 5'11", 155-pound junior. And I tell you one thing, this Tiffin Calvert team could be good next year as you look through this lineup. And our official stat keeper was
well, on the scoreboard, they have no more timeouts up, but apparently they had one. So.
Well, our official guy had one left, so we'll give Dave Mesker credit.
He gave me the one signal and then gave me the fist.
Is that what he was doing? So, I thought he was just upset at you, Howard. Yeah. You look at this team, you know, you got Fisher back. He's a junior. Balker, the left tackle's a junior. You also have a junior at tight end position in Reisner, who also punts for him. The quarterback is back. Puffenberger is back. They're going to have to replace a couple of good ones, Keefe and Ionatuno. Besides that, Howard, it looks like they've got some good guys coming back.
Well, I think they've got a strong nucleus coming back. Anytime you have your quarterback that throws the ball like that, you get some kids out there in the summer and you throw with them, you teach them how to catch it.
Well, there are no timeouts remaining. So Tiffin Calvert will be shooting right now for play number 9 to try to get it into the end zone.
They've got a couple attempts. They got 11 seconds left. It looks like Delphos lined up in a little man-to-man here.
From the 11-yard line, the pass play, Keller, an out pattern to Fisher, and he gets it, and is he going to get out of bounds?
He's out of bounds on about the 3 or 4 yard line. Looks like they're spotted on the 4 yard line with 7 seconds.
Well, double checking whether that was Fisher. They are at the far end of the football field. Kind of tough for us to see. It looks like Reisner made that
Yeah,
catch.
I believe it was number
46.
Yes, 46. Fisher is over on this side.
Dustin Reisner with the catch, the 6'2", 165-pound junior. Hey, we're down to 7 seconds. 2nd and 4, but that's no big deal right now. They just want to get it into the end zone. Keller, the quarterback. This would be a big play. Looks to the left side. Got to throw, and there's a flag in the defensive backfield. So this is either going to be a flag against the O or the D here. Which way is it going to go is going to be the big call here.
Looks like they're pointing at Delphos. I think they held him. We got 2 seconds. That's going to put the ball on about the 2-yard line.
That hurts.
2-yard line. I wonder what kind of kicker they have. I don't know what their kicking game is like. I guess Fisher does the kicking. Yep. He's quite an athlete. I don't know. Do you go for 3 or?
Well, we'll find out. I don't think this kind of football team is going to go for 3 points.
No, you can tell. They're bringing the play in. I believe Delphos is going to bring some pressure. We're going to see some tight man. They've got the tall read. Well, looks like they got him split out wide here. Fisher.
Let's see what happens. 2 seconds remaining. Keller, a pass play, and it is knocked away, and we've got another flag. This game will, at least this half, will not end on a penalty. They're going to call a flag, I believe, against the Jays, which will give them another shot from the 1-yard line. So,
that was a push-off.
Oh, boy, they're going to call that against the offense. A push-off against the offense, and that's going to end this drive and the half. Delphos St. John's is able to hold them on a position from the 2-yard line.
Wow, that's a tough call, but I guess he didn't catch it, so...
And let's go down to the field right now. Scott Stiles with head coach Vic Whiting.
Coach, I know you didn't like to see that last drive, but it has to be a pretty good momentum. Your defense played awesome the whole first half.
Well, we were in a prevent the last drive, so we're giving up little things good enough. It's like watching the damn Cleveland Browns, wasn't it?
It was. I tell you what, though, your offense seems to have a hard time getting on track. They have a pesky defense, but Schulte looks a lot better. But you guys seem like you're moving the ball when you want to.
We're making mistakes again, though. Like last week, we made mistakes with penalties, and you can't do that. If you want to drive the football, you can't gain 5 yards on first down and then be 2nd and 10 the next play because you jump offside. So we've just got to get it together. Our kids are playing hard and they're playing well. We just got to get it done on offense. Our defense is doing it again.
That's it down here. That's from the coach.
Thank you very much, Scott. And that'll end this first half. Again, the Jays on top of the Lone Zone scoreboard. 13-zip halftime show coming up next on Fox.
What's for dinner? You're not falling back on fast food again, are you? Quit feeling guilty about not having a home-cooked family meal because we have the greatest idea for you. Yoder's Home-Style Family of Foods. Yoder's mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing, and cranberry relish go great with any entree. You can reheat them in the oven or microwave and serve in 5 minutes. No peeling, no cleaning, and no fuss. Yoder's Home-Style Family of Foods. You can find them in the meat, deli, or dairy department at your local grocer. Fashionable men know where to go for the finest in tailored clothing. Lion Clothing in Delphos. Lion Clothing carries suits for the well-dressed businessman and offers accessories to complement your attire. Lion Clothing also have a wide assortment of fashionable sportswear for your leisure activities. School jackets, silk screening, and custom embroidery are also available at Lion Clothing in Delphos, outfitters of fashionable men.
House hunters, if you're serious about buying a home, call Karen Martin at Yoakum Realty in Delphos for information on unbeatable interest rates. Whether buying, selling, or leasing, let Karen Martin at Yoakum Realty in Delphos tackle your real estate needs. Yoakum Realty is not number one, you are. G. Namich, owner, broker.
An Allstate agent can insure your car, your home, your business, even your life. Who's your insurance agent?
Your Allstate insurance agent in Delphos is Jim Dickman. Call Jim at 692-2236.
Being in good hands is the only place to be.
Balance. In the brokerage world, it's the art of understanding your financial goals and today's complex market. Our stockbrokers are trained to follow the ebb and flow of the market. They're also real people, just like you. They, too, are striving for something. In this case, it's perfect balance.
For all of your financial investment needs, contact Kevin Lozier at MFI Investments Corp. in Delphos.
Welcome back to Donnell Stadium in Findlay, where we are at the half right now. The Delphos St. John Blue Jays on top of the Senecas of Tiffin Calvert, and it took a nice defensive stand by the Jays at the end of that first half to keep it at 13-zip, because Calvert had a situation where they were at the 2-yard line and were unable to score as they ended up the first half with a pass interference call against the Senecas. Time now for our halftime show, brought to you by our good friends at Van Dyne Crotty of Delphos. Van Dyne Crotty, uniforms that work. Before we get into the halftime show, I want to say special thanks to all the fine folks at the Carriage Inn, and that's what we just finished off here at the half. Howard and I enjoying some of their delicious sandwiches and chips and wings. Those wings were hot.
They were good.
Are you on, Howard? I think you touched your little cough button there. The wings were very hot and got Howard so excited that he hit his cough button, and they were good though, weren't they, Howard? And also the taco salad and everything else was good. We like to thank not only Craig and Sandy, who we always thank here on Fox, but we also have got to thank the folks back in the kitchen who do all the work, and that's Stan. Stan doesn't do a lot of work, but he does some work. Stan and Joel, and also Marie for all that delicious food. I think you're there now, Howard.
Am I there?
There you are.
Hey.
Where were you, back here eating?
You shut me off. You really shut me off.
I'm sorry. We'd like to thank them, and we'll take a time out. When we come back, we've got some numbers for you, and also we'll recap the keys to the game. We'll do that in 30.
We're proud to be ranked #1 in the uniform industry, but more importantly, we've been voted #1 for 2 years right here in West Central Ohio. Let our dedicated staff make your business look like a winner with our smart and professional uniforms. Your business will look like a winner with professional uniforms delivered right to your door. Our customized entry mats will make a great first impression with all your customers. Keep your employees and your business looking sharp with Van Dyne Crotty.
Time to recap our keys to the game from for the football game, and Howard is going to check those for us in a second. First of all, let's check the recap of the scoring drives and a bunch of other stuff with Dave Mesker.
Thanks, Carl. The halftime stats brought to you by Westridge Furniture with 3 locations in Delphos. We'll first look at the selection of plays. First off, for Delphos St. John's, they had run the ball 21 times in that first half and passed 12 times. Meantime, for Tiffin Calvert, Howard, they had 26 passes and only 8 runs. The score by quarters looked this way. Delphos St. John's in the first quarter saw Chad Schulte run at 33 yards for a touchdown with the extra point good to put them up 7-0. And then in the second quarter, it was a 71-yard hookup from Scott McCormick to Brad Klaus, and that is where we're at now, 13-0 at the half. So looking at the statistics, first off for Tiffin Calvert, in that first half, only 5 rushing yards total for Tiffin Calvert, all coming on 7 carries by Puffenberger. Meantime, from the air, Tiffin Calvert 9 of 25 for 117 yards, and that amounts to 122 total yards at the half. 6 first downs for Tiffin Calvert. They had no turnovers, and penalty-wise, they were assessed 2 penalties for 18 yards. For Delphos St. John's, halftime numbers look this way. On the ground, 116 yards. Scott Schulte, 13 carries for 75 yards. Meantime, from the air, Scott McCormick, 4 of 12 for 103 yards. He has 1 interception and 1 touchdown. So total offense first half for the Blue Jays, 219. 6 first downs for the Jays, 1 turnover, that being the interception. And the Blue Jays were assessed 5 penalties for 32 yards.
Howard will now recap our keys to the game. Howard, how's it going?
Well, looking at the keys here, number 1, Tiffin Calvert not giving up the big play, and they've given up really 1 big play. for about a 70-yard pass play for Delphos. So they weren't able to do that completely, but for the most part, shut them out otherwise. The health of Puffenberger, I think that's a question mark. He hasn't been able to get on track, but also I think you can credit that a lot to the Delphos St. John's defense. But hopefully he's able to come back maybe with a big half here to second half. Number 3 was Delphos containing Tiffin's passing attack, and they really pretty much did that but the end of the first half. But as Coach Vic Whiting, as he alerted to, as they were in their prevent defense, and a lot of times you're going to give up that underneath coverage, and that's what they were doing. They're hooking the kids up about 15 yards deep and giving that and then making a tackle.
Halftime show has been brought to you by our good friends at Van Dyne Crotty of Delphos. Van Dyne Crotty, uniforms that work. Again, halftime score 13-zip. St. John's on top of Tiffin Calvert. We've got third quarter action coming up next here on Fox.
It's time for the Fox 67 High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Knievi & Sons Plumbing and Heating in Kalida, an energy partner of AEP. Good evening, everyone. I'm Josh Mann. To the scoreboard we go. In state semifinal action tonight, Division II. The Salina Bulldogs, their season ends tonight as they lose to a tough Lebanon team, 70-43. Salina bows out of the state tournament at 10-3. Division IV, one score for you. The Coldwater Cavaliers are going to the state finals. They top Cincinnati, Wyoming, 20-10. And in Division VI, Lancaster Fisher Catholic continues their season 11-2 now. They top Cuyahoga Heights, 29-0. This high school football scoreboard has been brought to you by Knievi & Sons Plumbing and Heating in Kalida, an energy partner of AEP. You're watching WOHL, Lima's Fox Station.
Fox 67 is proud to bring you tonight's high school football playoff game. A promotional fee has been paid to the Ohio High School Athletic Association for the broadcast rights of this game. If it wasn't for the support of the following businesses, this broadcast would not have been made possible. United Equity Incorporated in Delphos, Spencerville, and Kossuth, your locally owned farmer cooperative. Harder & Son Memorial Chapel at 209 West 3rd Street in Delphos. Harder & Sons wishes good luck to their favorite co-worker, number 77, Tony Steeman. Reliable Plumbing and Heating. Call Reliable at 695-2921 for all your plumbing, heating, and air conditioning needs. Reliable has 24-hour emergency service. The Delphos Food Locker, now featuring bulk sausage for $1.09 or whole pork loins for $1.89. Go Blue Jays. Community First, Bank and Trust. Service, that's first. Fox 67 would like to wish the best of luck to all of the area teams during this year's high school football playoffs.
There's always something cooking at the Carriage Inn in Delphos. Whether it's soups, salads, sandwiches, lunch, or dinner, the Carriage Inn in Delphos has home-cooked recipes for all ages. Lots to choose from on the sandwich board. There's a different kind of soup in the kettle every day, and the dinner entrees are magnifique. A Friday night tradition in Delphos is Carriage Inn fish, all you care to eat, and plenty of sides to go with it. If you can find room, sample a piece of homemade pie, baked daily, at the Carriage Inn, 1201 East 5th Street in Delphos.
They think it started somewhere in the attic. Is everyone okay? Yeah, everyone's all right, but the house, it's gone.
Sometimes you need more from an insurance agent than insurance.
Jeez, your family's had that place forever. And all those memories. I know. Listen, we'll take care of everything we can.
That's why at Grange, our agents aren't just in the insurance business.
Tom, I'm sorry.
They're in the business of being human.
For all your insurance needs, call Hickey Morris Insurance.
The holiday season is here. In a cheap supermarket, that means family, friends, and great food.
We can make fruit baskets in lots of sizes. And they're perfect for presents.
Don't forget, if you're entertaining, Chief Supermarket has 6 different party trays to choose from.
New this year and only at Chief Supermarket. The special recipe cookie party tray.
From our family to yours, happy holidays from the associates at Chief Supermarkets.
Welcome back back to Denell Stadium here in Findlay. We're at the half. It is 13-zip. Delphos St. John's on top of Tiffin Calvert, the Senecas, as they are out at midfield right now talking things over. We have in the booth with us, as we get ready here in just a couple of seconds for the third quarter, Colin Westridge, who is the big offensive tackle for the Rockets of Toledo. How you doing, Colin?
Just fine.
Good to see you out here.
Nice to see you guys.
Kind of brings back some memories,
Yeah,
huh?
it does.
Playing in a big Blue Jay uniform.
Yeah, it does. Had an opportunity to sneak out tonight. It's the only free weekend I've had, so I figured better jump on the opportunity to watch them.
Now, the last time you played, you told me, was back in '93.
Correct.
And then the following year after that, St. John's had a chance to go play some action like this again. But you also had a chance back in '91 when you guys went up against Minster, right?
Right. We had a good year. I believe we went 9-1 that year and got in the playoffs. So went down to St. Mary's and Minster got the better end of us. But I still remember that. It was a good experience.
Now, what's going through the minds of these high school athletes out here, Colin? You were one. You're playing in a lot of big games. What are they? These guys are kind of matter-of-factly players anyway. They go from one game to one, take care of the business and all that. But what's going through the minds of all these young guys right now?
Hopefully they're preparing to finish this one off. They had a pretty good first half. I'd just like to see them finish it off. End up back in Massillon.
And we're going to be talking to Colin as this third quarter continues, because he's got a big game coming up for the University of Toledo after a setback against Eastern Michigan. We'll talk about Colin's future here, not only team-wise, but also personally. When time allows, here we go. The Jays going to be kicking off. Charlie Webb gets a nice foot into it. It bounces around the 5-yard line. Will advance into the end zone. And it's going to be the Senecas who will set up 1st and 10 at the 20. Let's talk about the University of Toledo, Colin. What's coming up for you guys?
Right now, regular season's over. We clinched our West Division of the conference, so we'll play next Friday night on ESPN, I believe, ESPN 1 or 2. I'm not sure which one, but we'll play next Friday night. We play Marshall for the MAC championship. They came out of the East as the champs, and we rolled out of the West, so we'll see what happens next Friday.
It's going to be a 1st down and 10. It's going to be Nate Keller, the quarterback, under center Nick Link. This Jays defense has been playing strong all game long. Keller wants to throw again. Looking downfield, has a receiver, and it is going to be picked off. The Jays, Josh Will in there for the interception, and another big turnover, Howard, against the Senecas.
Nice break on the ball. He just played a 2-deep safety. Had a good drop, didn't get beat deep. Ball was thrown. He broke on it well and made the interception.
That is 7 interceptions for Will now. Fisher's got 7. I tell you, this defensive backfield has been playing real strong for Vic Whiting all season long. You had a chance to play for Coach Whiting.
Oh, yeah. Outstanding coach, there's no doubt about it.
A motivator. A little different from college, though, Colin?
There's similarities. It's a different game, but there's a lot of similarities.
Right now, the Jays with an option play. McCormick going to keep it, and this time he'll go down. Let's talk about you personally, Colin, because you have been, of course, a mainstay in that offensive line for the Toledo Rockets, and now you are talking possible about getting another year in?
Yeah, there's potential for a 6th year of eligibility, getting a medical red shirt. In '96, I believe it was, I missed the entire year, never played it down due to injury, and they'll petition the NCAA probably in January, and I'll find out at that time if I get another year.
2nd and 7 for the Jays. From the 49-yard line, Scott McCormick. Under center, Phil Gunder. Looking over that defense, he will go with the option again. A keeper, and he is going to be drugged down. He may pick up a yard, and that's going to be about it. Another talk we've been hearing, Colin, about a little injury you've been messing around with here the last couple of weeks.
Got banged up a little bit last week against Eastern Michigan, but nothing major. We're healing up right now, and it's kind of nice. We had this week, basically, we had one practice on Tuesday, but other than that, we had this week off. Get guys healthy and ready to go. We'll start up tomorrow morning with practice on through Wednesday and head down to West Virginia, get ready for the big one.
We'll ask Colin a couple more questions. What about the big Ohio State game that he had a chance to play in a few weeks ago? And also about a chance for a professional career for himself. Pitch back Schulte, and he's going nowhere. That defense again there for Tiffin Calvert, as it's going to set up a 4th down. Let's talk about the Ohio State game real quick, Colin. What do you remember? You remember anything? Huh?
Yeah, I don't have too many good thoughts about it, obviously. It was a tough day for us offensively, all around. I mean, you're playing a team like that. It's one of the best teams in the country. There's no doubt about it. They outmanned us that day. They were definitely the better team, and they played well.
It's going to be a 4th down situation for the Jays, and back deep again is the man they want to see with the football, and that's Bart Fisher, number 88. Punting is going to be Martz again, and he has a little trouble with the connection there, and he's going to get off a good kick, though, and then he goes down, and flags everywhere. The ball's covered, but looks like there's going to be some problems on the with the Senecas, and it's going to be St. John's getting the ball back again. We'll finish up here with Colin. What have you been hearing, Colin? I'm sure you're getting like a lot of letters of pro guys looking for big guys like you to play for them.
That's kind of on the back burner right now. There's other things to worry about and concentrate on at this time. You know, if that's an option down the road a little bit, I'll definitely jump all over it. And, you know, but right now, my main focus and concern is on Marshall University next Friday, and then hopefully onto a bowl game after that. And at that time, I'll find out about that 6th year. And you know, a lot of stuff will be decided probably January, February. I'll know a lot more.
But you do want to play pro ball, right?
Definitely. You know, there's no doubt about it.
Hey, I know you'd play for anybody, but is there a certain team you'd like to play for?
I can't.
Huh? New York Jets, huh? Cleveland Browns?
Any of them would be fine with me.
We'll finish up with Colin here in a second. Right now, it's 1st and 10 for the Jays. They've got some great field position. 34-yard line, handoff Schulte off the right tackle. Got some running room. Picks up about 9. Well, Colin, we're going to let you go, buddy. I know you got some friends down in the stands you want to continue talking to. Best of luck next week, buddy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, Colin Westridge, my guest here up in the booth with Howard and I. And Colin, of course, will be involved in that big playoff game next week. Chance to get another championship for the University of Toledo. Right now, the Jays looking for a state championship as they are in the semifinals, Division 6. It's a 2nd down 1. McCormick under center, goes to the handoff Schulte. Schulte trying to turn it on. He gets to the outside, keeps on going forward. And is he going to be in? Yes! Touchdown, Delphos St. John's. Chad Schulte from 26 yards out. It is now 19 zip Howard on the lone zone scoreboard.
He wasn't going to be denied.
You know, that roughing the kicker call was a big play. Tiffin held him, and that's a tough call. You know, he fumbles the ball and picks it up, but he's still a punter. But right there, Chad Schulte was not going to be denied. He was going to get there.
But talk about that. He fumbled the football originally. Now, in that case, he's free meat, right?
No, he's not.
No?
As long as he does not attempt to run, he's still a punter, and that's the way the rule states. And that's what's tough about that call, because
you know, your kids are coming 100 mile an hour and they see that ball fumbling, they're going to go for the football, and it's tough to lay off of that.
And I know we've been in that situation, and that's a tough call to take. How do you tell the kid to back up? You know, put it in reverse.
Right. And to add to that, it was great instincts by March not to try to run with that football. Like you said, though, they would have been really after him in that case, and he had the mind to get rid of the football, and the Jays capitalize as always, and we go to Dave Mesker with a scoring summary.
Okay, Carl, covered 5 plays, 45 yards, took 2 minutes, 39 seconds off the clock. Chad Schulte with a 26-yard TD run, the extra point good. Delphos St. John's up 20-0 here in the third quarter.
And Scott Stiles there on the sidelines for us. Scott?
Carl, that was an excellent run by Schulte, a determination run. They blitzed on that side. The guy coming ran right by Schulte, had a clear spot in the end zone, broke a couple tackles. Tell you what, Coach Whiting, when they came off, he said, that's what we're going to do the whole game. We're going to pound it right down. He feels like he can wear him out the second half. They got a lot of guys going both ways, Carl, and they feel like they can wear him down. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Scott. And right now, it's big trouble for Tiffin Calvert as they've been unable to score here in this football game, and they now find themselves down 20 to zip with Charlie Webb getting the foot into it, end over end, taken by Fisher at the 13. Across the 20, the jumps forward and hurdles to about the 28-yard line, and that is where this offense is going to have to set up, Howard, 1st and 10. I tell you, the field position has been one thing all game long for Tiffin Calvert. They have not had a chance to get any very good field position.
Yeah, they've had to dig themselves out some big holes. They had it early, but unfortunately McCormick had a big run, and that was offset. Now they find themselves back on the 29-yard line, and Delphos with some good momentum going. So it's going to be a big series.
Well, the quarterback trying to get things untracked here is Nate Keller. And he is going to hand off, and look at that defense for St. John's. Big number 61 coming in strong, Matt Schwinnen. And that's going to move them back a couple of more yards.
That's tough to do. Tiffin's trying to get their backside tackle to cut him off. They're pulling their guard, and he's just getting in the hip pocket going right with him. That's a big chore. I think they need to get their center to block back on that.
Well, again, it's going to set up a 2nd down and 12, this time for the 27-yard line. Keller Wants to throw, looking to the right side, in trouble, has to get rid of it, and he will. It's going to be way incomplete. Good defense again by the Jays back there, putting on a lot of pressure was number 50, Sean Ardner.
Again, they brought Martz off the corner. You know, they're putting him in passing situations, and right now the averages, the law of averages, they're going to pass the football, and they're teeing off at the line of scrimmage. And, you know, I guess right now they're saying, well, if they break a little 4 or 5 yard run, no big deal, but we're going to get after your quarterback.
Well, you folks already know, but we saw some halftime scores. Coldwater was only down by a field goal to Cincinnati, Wyoming, but Salina was getting shut out 21-0 by Lebanon, a very good football team. 3rd and 12 for the 27. Passing play again, and the receiver had not even turned his back yet to pick up the football. The intended receiver was Dustin Reisner, and the Jays hold again.
But again, they had Eds going right in his face, and he had to get rid of the football. And the receivers had no chance there,
Even having a chance to turn back and looking for the ball or break their patterns off. He had to get rid of the football.
Well, again, St. John's should have some great field position.
This is their 8th punt.
And this is
going to be leg tired here.
And it's going to die right around the 42-yard line. Was that touched by a Jay?
I don't know who kicked it. Looks like they're going to spot it where it was kicked, so I guess it would be a Tiffin.
And so St. John's going to start their offense out.
I guess they're not going by the beanbag.
And there's an official's timeout where they spot the ball at the 37-yard line. St. John's will start out there 1st and 10. And we are going to go down on the field as soon as this one is over and talk to our player of the game. And the way things are going right now, Howard, you brought yourself an offensive lineman out last time. We may have a guy for the defense for this game if it stays up like this.
Yeah, right now, I tell you, they're the whole defense possibly. I don't know how many plaques we have.
There's a flag. This is a Fox budget, Howard, remember.
Well, then we have enough for all of them.
They can share. We'll just put all their names on it. How's that?
That'll work.
Well, the flag is going to go against St. John's. And so that's going to move them back a little bit. 10 yards on, what was it, the hold? And so that's going to set up a 1st down and 20.
Let's see if Tiffin can take advantage of this and hold them. See if Delphos comes back there. I see they brought Weber back in the football game, and they're going to split him out. See if they try to go down the field and pick this up right away. They're going shotgun.
And Scott McCormick wants a timeout. He looked over the defense, didn't like what he saw, and calls the TO.
I think they had too many players. They have a lot of receivers out there.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I count.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That doesn't always work. Although sometimes, if you're from New Bremen, you get away with that sometimes, don't you?
We should be able to have 14.
You know, this place holds about 8,000, and talking to some of the folks who are, did a great job here tonight, making our stay very hospitable. Got carpet in the press box.
This is a beautiful press box.
The stands are great. The field's in great, for the time of the year and the situation. Field's in great shape, but there's probably about 10,000 fans here. Jerry Snodgrass in charge of everything, doing a great job.
Yeah, Jerry's the athletic director at Findlay High School. He's a good man. Also the basketball coach. I've got to know him. But yeah, I like coming back here. You get fed, you get a heated press box, good company. What more can a man ask for?
Howard, without getting a tear in your eye, you probably could say it doesn't get better than this, does it?
It doesn't.
And you even brought your wife with you, which is kind of like a family event for this Thanksgiving.
She's a football crazy woman.
Pass play, and McCormick and Metzner, and it's going to come a little bit short to Jace Metzner.
Ventilation.
Yeah, we've got ventilation up here. Usually it's hot up here.
We need ventilation up here.
Windows open. It's great. Craig Seaver, bringing food all the way from Delphos, up 75 to bring us something to eat. You can't ask for more than this.
No.
And by the way, we haven't had a chance to say it, but we hope that all you folks out there had a happy Thanksgiving. I know that Howard ate a couple turkeys himself. Didn't you, Howard?
Well, we had the family over yesterday, and I don't know if I completed a whole turkey, but I know I had my share.
But happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. 2nd down and 20 Ball at the 35-yard line. This is a pass play. No, there's that wraparound draw. Look at Marks go. He's got some running room, and he will go down to the 45-yard line. And as we've talked about before, Howard, if you know who you're playing and you know what they're doing, usually that doesn't work. But if you throw that in every now and then against a team that's never seen you before, it works sometimes.
That's right. Fortunately, it doesn't work against us very often because we do practice it. But again, you've got two teams that are unfamiliar with each other, and that wraparound draw, Marsh just stays there patiently, lets the defense go by him, and he takes off. Big first down, 20-yard pickup.
And they'll go to Schulte, and he is hit right at the line of scrimmage. It's a 20-0 game, but I tell you, this defensive line and these linebackers for Tiffin Calvert still, though, have done an outstanding job here tonight.
Well, you take 2 plays out of the game. 1, the long pass play, and 2, the punt, the penalty roughing the punter. It's a 7-0 ball game right now.
Well, you add the chance that Tiffin Calvert had there at the end of the first half to get a touchdown and was unable to do so.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that was a big momentum swing also coming out for the second half.
And so it's going to set up a 2nd down 10 situation. Ball now at the 44-yard line. Down to 6 minutes and 50 seconds as they go with the little reverse to Zach Weber, and Zach will go nowhere.
I think they figured out wherever they line him up, there's a good chance he's getting the football. And they ran a little counter, and it was well defended. Pursuit was right there.
I'm looking over the high school basketball season for this year, Howard, and I noticed that on Friday, January 22nd, you'll be buying all the pizza and pop over at we're actually going to be at Minster, but it's against New Bremen. So I tell you, I know you got a hot spot over in Bremen you can take us to.
Oh, we like to go to the bowling alley.
We'll bowl a couple games with you. So
all right.
Write that one down your calendars. High school basketball just around the corner. Right now, though, state semis with Scott McCormick at quarterback. Looking for, there's a illegal block is going to be picked off, and Tiffin Calvert's going to get the ball.
Well, you could tell Scott knew he made a bad mistake, because as soon as he threw it, he went to go make the tackle, didn't he? But yeah, we had a holding, but they're going to definitely decline that and take the football.
Saw a special on ESPN the other day on tackling by kickers and quarterbacks. They brought all the pro guys in. They were having a debate on who could tackle the best.
Who could trip the best.
Who could do. They had some neat ones in there. You remember a guy by the name of Matt Barr that used to play?
Yeah.
I used to go crazy as a tackler, and it's kind of interesting. The quarterbacks all thought they were better tacklers, and the kickers all thought they were. But right there, as you mentioned, Scott McCormick, there's not going to be a Blue Jay that's going to back down, whether he's a kicker or a quarterback.
Well, I'll tell you what, McCormick, I bet he could play linebacker. He's well-built young man. That's his second interception of the evening.
And he came into the ball game with 8 interceptions total. The other quarterback, Keller, came in with 13 interceptions, but he's thrown it over 300 times. Pass play down the left sideline, too much. Jeff Fisher back there with the defense.
Again, they're trying to hit that go pattern down the sideline with the playing 2 deep safeties. He's just overthrowing it. He's got to hit it in the hole between the corner and the safety. He's overthrowing that football.
And if you've been noticing the replay time of this one, plus the time we've been standing up here in the press box, this game's taken a whole lot more time because of all the pass plays.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, live time right now, we're around 9:15. We're usually done by 9:30 or so, 9:40, and this one's going to last a lot longer than that. Pass play by Keller again, and nice stick by Wiekert as he doesn't let him get too far. It's going to be short of the first down. Reception, though, by a guy who's been playing some good football tonight. That's Justin Keefe.
Now it's going to bring a third and 3. And right now, again, they haven't been able to run the football. I guess we look for a nice out pattern is what they've come to lately. Let's see.
Need a couple of yards on the 3rd down. This is a big stand here by Delphos St. John's to get that ball back, eat some more of that clock up. Number 1 receiver, Bart Fisher, is going to be split wide left with a couple other football players. They've got 4 receivers, but they go with the handoff and nothing there. Close to the first down, and I don't know. Looks like he may be standing a little bit short, Howard.
Yeah, I believe they're going to be short. Good chance they're going to go for it. That kind of surprised me a little bit, but the Puffenberger, he's got some big yardage. He hasn't been able to break any this evening.
They're going to measure, but I believe they're short here, Carl.
So you're calling short.
I'm going to call.
Bob Askins this year, an amazing about 8 for 9 on calls like this. My other partner,
he's got some great eyesight.
I forgot the other guys. Keith Horner. Boy, he hasn't been with me in such a long time. He is a pathetic 1 for 7, I think. And this will be your first time?
This is my first.
Okay, let's see if you're correct. Oh, you're
Wait a minute. They broke the chain or something.
Yeah. Chain did break. Well, he's got the donut down.
He's still. I'm really kind of surprised they measured this one.
You're 1 for 1, though, Howard. Put it in the books.
Well,
you continue to amaze me.
I don't know if that's an amazing call. I figured they had it striped pretty well.
It counted, though. It's like doing a layup in basketball. You should make it, you know? Sometimes you don't, but you should. Well, they got to go for it. Only 4 minutes and 57 seconds left in the third quarter, and they're already down 20 to zip. They have been unable to move the ball against St. John's this entire game. And watch this Jays defense. Look at them at that line of scrimmage. They've got 6 men at the line. Let's see if they can get it against the Jays. Pass play, slant is going to be knocked down. Try the little slant pattern. It did not work as the Jays defense there again.
Again, that's the disadvantage of this offense. You know, it's a fun offense for kids, and they want to catch the ball, throw the ball, and it's an exciting. But you know, sometimes when you get inside the 20, it really cuts down or short yardage. You know, you don't go to the power eye, you don't go to the power game, and sometimes you pay it. But that's what they choose to play, and they've done it well all year.
First and 10 from the 48-yard line for St. John's, and we've got a flag already. We're going to have some procedure against Martz there. A little equipment problem, it looks like. Is he going to pick the flag up? He is. What would that have been, Howard?
It looked like he thought he didn't have his chin strap buckled or something, but he must have. I don't know.
And he dropped
I think that's one of those things you just go up to the young man and say, hey, why don't you just buckle up here so you don't get hurt?
You got to be safe, though, Howard, you know.
Right.
Here comes the blitz, and they pitch back to Schulte. Schulte, right tackle, picks up about, well, he had about 4, then it was 5, and it ends up about 7.
He moved. I'll tell you what, the offensive lineman, you know, you tell those offensive linemen, it's hard for the defense to make the tackle if you're still hanging on them, and that was one of those case in points right there.
Let's see if Scott Stiles has come up with anything down there on the sideline. Scott?
Carl, is that respect or what? 4th and a foot, and you have to feel like you have to throw the ball to get the first down? When I went over to start the second half, check on injuries for Tiffin, they were really concerned about Nate Keller and his ability to be able to get off his passes. They felt like he was rushing the whole first half, and they were trying to calm him down. So far, it hasn't worked, Carl.
There's Chad Schulte, who is close to another first down. I think I called Chad Scott earlier in the game, but you know, about everybody does that because he had 2 outstanding brothers who were running backs for St. John's, and it's hard to forget those guys. Scott Schulte and Todd Schulte, who both went on to play some great college football as well at Hillsdale College. Chad is going to be doing the same, I am sure, somewhere.
Yeah, Scott, he comes to our school once in a while. I think it's Scott that coaches over at Indianapolis and does some recruiting. So he's into the coaching field now at the college level.
You know, as you look at Tiffin Calvert out here, Howard, and you get a chance to see all the teams from, of course, well, I'm going to give you another chance here.
Oh, I think he's a little short again.
Little short, Howard's saying. Yeah. And he's right again, 2 for 2. Nice little average. You see a lot of the teams from the MAC and also some of the other teams you guys play from our area. Who would you compare this Tiffin Calvert team to most?
Well, you know, they're very comparable to us a little bit. I mean, the offense isn't the same, but size-wise and some of their speed. But in our offense, their offense, what they do is probably most comparable to probably a Marion local. You know, they want to go 4 wide. They go a lot of times 1 back, but they have the ability to go, you know, to an eye back. They run their power offense. They're not as 1 back oriented, but that's probably the closest in our league would be probably Marion local.
Well, there was a first down pickup for McCormick. Jays continue to move, and you say Marion local, that kind of makes, if Chad would hear that, he kind of liked that. He rushed for over 400 yards.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Marion's usually a very stingy defense. So, again, big credit to Chad and obviously his offensive line. He probably took him out for pizza again that week.
Chad does give credit to that offensive line as he continues to lumber forward for another nice pickup. Something, you know, when you talk to these offensive linemen and after they make one of their great blocks and they see Chad heading down the sideline or up the field for another touchdown, they know that they're sharing in that touchdown because Chad will be the first one to come back to thank them for the great blocks.
Yeah, that's the type of individual he is. But right there on that run, his natural instincts, he puts his hands on their back and his feet just keep moving and he makes the cut. And I think they feel that and they know he's there and they just keep blocking that much harder.
2nd and 4. Chad's got the ball again. He's going to come up short. The Jays go on and win this football game. We are going to be in Canton next week. It's going to be a 3:30 start. All the action right here on Fox 67. It's going to be a Friday game. We'll have it back for you on Friday night to watch the replay. You can join the whole Fox crew as we've been with the Jays for a number of times this year and hoping to be back for just one more, at least this season, because as Howard knows, they're just going to reload again for next year.
Oh, they are. They've got some, right now, classes back-to-back. And, you know, we always look forward to playing them, and they look forward to playing us. So that's our league start. So
that's another keeper by the quarterback, and looks like he's going to have another first down as Scott McCormick continues this drive, and it's going to be a first down at the 25-yard line with only a minute 55 remaining here in this third quarter.
Carl, in this third quarter, 14 runs for the Jays, only 2 by the pass. That does a couple of things, Howard. Ground control, and it's taking a lot of time off that clock.
Not only that, they're wearing their defensive line down. A lot of these kids will go right back on the offensive line or whatever, and they're getting, you know, that's a big offensive line, and every shot is just taking a little bit more air out of them.
Chad trying to get to the outside. He will be forced out of bounds by Todd Ionatuno, but another nice run by Chad Scholey. Had a chance to read some comments in the paper earlier this week by their coach, their football coach Hammond, and he said that even though he does have a lot of guys that go both ways, usually in the second half, towards the third to fourth quarter, his guys still usually are wearing down the other players from the opposing football team. So these guys have a lot of endurance, a lot of size, and a lot of stamina.
Yeah, the teams they go against, I'm unfamiliar with. How many of the kids they have going both ways is a thing to look at. But right now, you know, they've got to put somebody over the center. They've run this quarterback sneak 3 times in short yardage, and I don't quite understand that. They move them wider and they expect the linebackers to take that. And McCormick's been picking up 3-4 yards each time he's done it.
It's a nice drive for the Jays, though. 1st and 10 now from the 14-yard line. McCormick pitch Scholey. Scholey finding a hole, and then it's quickly sealed, but he's able to pick up a few more yards.
9 plays on this drive, 9 runs.
Yeah, they're sticking, you know, it's kind of like last week in the St. Henry game. They came back and beat St. Henry right back to their basic play, the off-tackle pitch, and that's what they're doing. And it gives them the ability to cut, break it outside, or run the hole, or break it all the way back. And right now, he's just getting up in there.
2nd down, they need 7. The ball at the 11-yard line. McCormick will go with the first back through as Martz. And again, Scott Stiles down there watching that offensive line for the Delphos St. John Blue Jays just do the job.
They're doing exactly what they wanted to do the second half. They're wearing the Tiffin Calvert defensive line down. Tiffin has their hands on their hips. Some of their heads are dropped. Tell you what, Delphos is 12 minutes away from heading back up north for the state finals. Back to you guys.
5 seconds remaining, and that's going to be the final play of this third quarter. After 3 quarters of play here from Donnell Stadium at Findlay, our score, as you can see again, the fingers going up on the hands of all the Blue Jay fans and players, which means the fourth quarter belongs to them. And right now, this game does belong to them as they are on top of Tiffin Calvert, 20-0 after 3 here on Fox.
Fox 67 is proud to bring you tonight's high school football playoff game. A promotional fee has been paid to the Ohio High School Athletic Association for the broadcast rights of this game. If it wasn't for the support of the following businesses, this broadcast would not have been made possible. United Equity Incorporated in Delphos, Spencerville, and Kossuth, your locally owned farmer cooperative. Harder & Son Memorial Chapel at 209 West 3rd Street in Delphos. Harder & Sons wishes good luck to their favorite co-worker, number 77, Tony Steeman. Reliable Plumbing and Heating. Call Reliable at 695-2921 for all your plumbing, heating, and air conditioning needs. Reliable has 24-hour emergency service. The Delphos Food Locker, now featuring bulk sausage for $1.09 or whole pork loins for $1.89. Go Blue Jays. Community First, Bank and Trust. Service, that's first. Fox 67 would like to wish the best of luck to all of the area teams during this year's high school football playoffs.